them to take the easy single.
At this stage of the game, though, I don't think Ireland will be too upset with giving away the singles here and there. They want to be protecting the boundary. Fuller and wider again this time. And just pushed out into the covers, out the deep cover where Shauna Kavanagh cleans up. A little bit of a wayward throw there over Mary Waldron's head, but well backed up.
Yeah, the West Indian batsmen seem to be settling in quite nicely onto that wicket. Now we know those of us who've played down here in YM, we know that the square is lovely to bat on and the outfield is quick.
Short. Oh, very nearly to Lewis at extra cover, but it's gone over her head. Sorry, it's Kim Garth there at extra cover. And fielded out in the deep there by Shauna Kavanagh.
A little bit cheeky there from Lara Moritz to bang it in short to Stefanie Taylor. It really didn't get up high enough to cause her too much difficulty. She was just to Kim Garth's left. But a bit cheeky from the bowler.
It was a little bit too short this time. It's straying onto leg stump. Just worked away to deep square there this time by Stefanie Taylor.
As you can see, she's got shots all around the ground. I think our bowlers, if they're going to try and tie her down, are going to have to bowl a much fuller length to try and sort of keep her from playing square the wicket like that.
Again, she banged this one in a little bit back of a length there over the top of off stump. And that's gone through to Mary Waldron for a dot. So after a tricky enough start to the over, she's got out of it very nicely.
She did. She sort of had Stefanie stuck in her crease there. Stefanie didn't know whether to come forward or to go back for that. So as a consequence, she did neither. And she sort of wafted her little bat. I think the great Nola Manny would have called that a nothing shot. She sort of wafted the bat at it and it went safely to the keeper.
So at the end of 38 overs, the West Indies have moved... Sorry, at the end of 8 overs, the West Indies have moved on to 38 for 1. And it looks like the skipper's bringing herself on from the Wes Earl end here, Janice.
Yeah, a little bit of medium swing from Laura Delaney, and it'll be interesting to see with this wind, with the wind coming across the ground, and also she's a tricky little bowler to get away. They're going to have to work for their shots here.
She seems to have spread the field, though. Just the 5 women inside the circle. She's got long on and long off back, so she's obviously going to look to bowl quite full here. Oh, very well bowled. A little bit of a change-up maybe first up, and coming off a leading edge, and nearly went straight to point.
Yeah, a little bit of swing there for Laura Delaney, and I'm sure she'll be delighted to see that. She's offering the bats the opportunity to get singles at mid-on and mid-off, so she's sort of tempting them to she's saying, come on and hit me, and trying to get the edge.
A little bit shorter this time. He's into the covers just for the single.
Nice shot by Stefanie Taylor. Again, she just leaned across and stroked the ball through the covers just very easily. There was always one there.
Wide this time from Delaney, just straying too far outside off stump there. Obviously trying to bowl to a plan here, Janice, of keeping it as full as possible, maybe even looking for the Yorker.
Yeah, and that's not a bad plan because anything short is going to be punished. That's not a bad plan at all.
A little bit shorter this time, it gets away with it. Swing and a miss on the outside.
And
maybe stayed down a little bit.
Yeah, we were just saying that certainly did. It seemed to stay low. Again, the bats from the West Indies, they won't be used to the intricacies of the Irish wicket, even though, we are. But the odd one might stay low.
Fuller this time. Very well ball from Laura Delaney. Cooper looking for the big shot, then just realised it was actually going to Yorker. Didn't quite get there on the full. Well ball from Laura Delaney.
Cricket the winner there, a super Yorker length ball, and played beautifully by Cooper.
Delaney trying a little bit of variation. It didn't quite work. She moved around the wicket. Tried one out of the back of the hand there, I think, and it just didn't work out at all. Nearly a double bouncer through to Mary Waldron. Wide given by umpire Alien Bag.
Yeah, it was a poor delivery.
Followed up though by a very good, just back of a length. No room to swing the arms this time.
No, and again, I can see what they are trying to do. They're trying to vary their length, vary their speed, so that the bats don't get settled, and that they're not able to read the wicket.
Changing field this time. These squares come into the circle and cover's gone out. Oh, Laura again, just straying too far outside the off stump. And another wide in this over.
Yeah, she seemed to fall over there as she delivered the ball. You could see maybe, hopefully there's nothing wrong with her landing leg, but she certainly seemed to fall away, which dragged the ball away.
Full and straight this time and a dot to end the over. That's 9 overs gone. The score moves on to 42 for 1 from the West Indies. Ireland will be very pleased with this start, but the wickets column could be a little bit better, but they'd still take a run rate of less than 6 and over.
Absolutely, less than 6 and over is terrific. The one thing about it with the West Indies, though, they've wickets in hand. So I'm expecting fireworks maybe the last 5 overs. Of the 112 T20 internationals the West Indies have played, they have won 64. They've only lost 41. And they were the World Cup, T20 World Cup champions in 2016. They got to the semi-final 2018 and were beaten by the eventual winner. So they have a long tradition in this format of the game of the long successful tradition.
It's continuing from Natasha Metcalf end, full outside the off stump, and unfortunately caught the outside edge, but no slip in place at this stage of the game. And it's run away down to a very fine third man area for 4 runs.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether Laura Delaney might consider putting in a slip just to add an extra dimension for Lara Moritz. If she is getting, because of the wind, if she is getting a little bit of swing away, it just might give the batsman something to think about.
Full toss this time, hammered into the covers. Will Shauna Kavanagh get round? Oh no, unfortunately she's just mistimed that one out in the deep, and that's run away for 4 runs.
It shows how hard she hit the ball, Stefanie Taylor, that it did race away through the covers, because Shauna Kavanagh is no slouch out there on the cover boundary. But it was beautifully struck. She just stepped forward and timed it beautifully through the covers.
Moritz under pressure now in this over. That's 2 boundaries from the first 2 deliveries. Shorter this time, and maybe fortuitous to get away with that. Just a bit of a bottom edge, and it's pushed into point, and they come through for a single.
You can see that they have decided, obviously, to target this bowler, and there was an easy single there, even though the ball went straight to the fielder at point. But that's 9 runs off the over so far. Correct,
and it's also brought up the West Indian 50. We're on to 51. Carved away this time. Very well fielded in the deep by Shauna Kavanagh. Come back for the second. This could be tight with a good throw. Unfortunately not. But very well fielded in the deep by Shauna Kavanagh there. Stopped a certain boundary. But Moritz really feeling under pressure in the middle of this over.
Yeah, the ball was a little bit short and wide, and Brittany Cooper just stepped out again and played the most satisfying shot in the game in my book. A smash through the covers for 4.
You like a square drive, Janice?
I do.
Shorter this time and smashed into mid wicket. Good stop by Gabby Lewis. And so Moritz gets away with a dot this time.
Again, you could tell by the sound off the bat that she middled it. Luckily, Gabby Lewis was there. It went straight to her. She wasn't going to miss it on her home ground.
Two balls left in this over. Well bowled from Moritz this time. Went full. Actually, that was the final ball of the over. She got out of the over very nicely at the end with a dot at the end to a very full Yorker.
Just going on about the T20 records, Ireland 57 matches. We have lost 42 of them and won 15. Now, a lot of those matches have been in T20 World Cups, where we have been to 3 World Cups, where the quality of the opposition they've been obviously higher than us. We're ranked 10th. And sometimes we've struggled, but we've always come away learning something from those tournaments, and hope to build on that.
And that's the end of the 10th over now. 53 for 1 is the West Indies total, which brings again a double change in the com box. We'll welcome back Andrew Lenny Leonard and Miriam Greeley.
Yeah, thanks a million, Jonesy. That's the West Indies card at the moment. Brittany Cooper just struggling to get going, 17 off 33. But we're seeing why Stefanie Taylor is such a superstar. She's absolutely flying. 28 off just 20 balls. Welcome back to Miriam Greeley to my right. Miriam, Ireland will be reasonably pleased with this start, having lost the toss this morning.
They will, but now, Lenny, they really have to keep it tight now. There's a couple of loose balls coming in the overs, and they're bowling 2 lengths at times, and a player like Stefanie Taylor is going to put them away. So they have to get a little bit more consistent and a little bit more just for the next few overs. She's beginning to open up now.
Power again, and a good kind of half a stop from Kim Garth in the covers. Gets through for the single, and Irish captain Laura Delaney, she's ringing the changes with her bowlers.
She is, yes. I think Laura is not carrying an injury, but she's coming back from an injury. I think that's perhaps why it might have affected her a little bit in her bowling spell there. But she has got an awful lot of bowlers to choose from, which is great.
Looks for the scoop shot down the leg side. Azam Ali Beg decides that's not going to be a wide. And the reason it's not a wide, the batter coming across her stumps. Powered into the leg side, taken. That's the second wicket. She was looking to go to the leg side. Brittany Cooper, her struggles are over. She's gone for 17. The second wicket for Ireland.
That was a good ball. It was a good shot. I think she's trying to put it over mid-wicket, and she didn't quite get hold of it. And it was a great grab at mid-wicket. And here's the replay. Yeah, she cleared her left leg. She was trying to go over mid-wicket.
Yeah, she was trying to heave it into the leg side, Miriam. And Laura Moritz was there to take a good catch. It was powerfully struck.
It was up around face height. She did very, very well held.
So Brittany Cooper, she's got to go. Going to bring Charmaine Campbell to the wicket. Coming in at number 4. Just couldn't quite get going today, Cooper.
No, she looked like she was struggling a little bit, and she was relying on the far end doing a fair amount of the runs. So I think she might have been told to be getting on with it.
Yeah, just past the halfway stage of this, the first of 3 T20 Internationals in the Hanley Energy 2020 International Series. West Indies women there en route to England for a series of 3 ODIs as part of the ICC Women's Championship. They'll play 3 T20Is as well. And it's just great for Irish cricket to have the West Indies women here for these matches.
Oh, it's a fantastic experience, as we said before, Lenny, for them to come out to be here and play.
More dot balls. Good to see aggression from Laura Delaney as well, bringing mid-off up into the circle.
Yes, I see that now. Yes, mid-off's coming up, so I think she's still going to try to bowl it a little bit fuller. But if she drops it short, she has it covered on deep mid-wicket and long on.
Yeah, just 3 fielders outside the circle, and just as we say that, mid-off goes back to long off, so 4 outside the circle. Shorter this time. It's going to be easily clipped into the offside by Campbell. She's away with a single, but Ireland will be pleased with that because it's going to keep Taylor off strike.
Exactly. That was a little too short. I think if Taylor had been facing that delivery, we might have seen that being pulled to the leg side for some runs. So Charmaine just wanted to get herself off the mark. And as you say, Ireland will be very happy that they keep her away. Is vital. They feel sensibly and count balls as well, so that they do try and keep her away as much as they can.
Let's take a look at the bowling figures so far. Delaney not afraid to ring the changes. We see it so commonly in T20 international cricket, not allowing the batters to settle. I'm going to see Celeste Rack back into the attack. She bowled 2 very tight overs, the leg breaks up the top. And interestingly for me, there's a change of end for her.
Yes. I'm just wondering about her field placing now. Yeah, she's coming from the Cecil Metcalfe end. That could have been a choice herself. She's one of our best bowlers and our wicket taker, so if Celeste wants to come this end, I'm sure Laura would have no problem.
Short from Rack to start. Going to be hit down the ground to long on for a single. It's a defensive enough field as you'd expect for a leg spinner at this stage of the innings. Fielders in the deep at long on. An old-fashioned cow corner, deep square leg and a deep cover, but 5 fielders in the circle. And going to be pressure for her bowling to Stefanie Taylor.
Yes.
Hit out to the deep cover fielder. That's Shauna Kavanagh, just going to be a single.
And the fielding placement that she has obviously maybe knows that Stefanie Taylor isn't necessarily reverse sweep because she's nobody down at the third man area at all. So it's all she obviously likes driving, hitting the ball very hard in front.
I think with the pace that Rack bowls at, it'd be very difficult to manoeuvre the ball behind a square on the offside. And West Indies at the moment just dealing in singles, and Ireland won't mind that. If they could restrict them to maybe less than 120 here, they'd feel like they're in the game.
I would say so. I would say 100, anything under 120, even 130 would be. But the start they've got now, you're right, Lenny. I think if they got them to 120 or restrict them to that, that would be a fine start to the game.
Beautifully bowled by Rack that time, right on a length. She does get good drift and dip with the ball and doesn't bowl it at a quick pace.
No, I mean, she does have different deliveries, and obviously if they're not coming down to attack her, she'll keep on doing that. If they start moving her feet, she will then put it through the air a wee bit quicker.
Nicely bowled again by Rack, and Taylor's happy to just operate in singles, perhaps knowing that she can target some of the other Irish bowlers towards the end of the innings. Good tight stuff this from Ireland. Fuller this time. Down the ground, just going to be a single. Only 4 runs from the over. In fact, 5 runs from the over. 5 singles. West Indies exactly 5 and over. 60 for 2 after 12, Miriam.
Well, if we finish with 5 and over, if you go 5 and over from now on in, you'd be extremely happy. If you can just save boundaries and they get 6 and over, that's fine. If we stop the boundary, we'll end up with a good score here.
Yeah, and tactically, I think Laura Delaney's been really good so far. She's changed her bowlers around. She's looked to restrict Stefanie Taylor right from the off, knowing how devastating she is, how powerful she is. Try to bowl to the other end as much as you can.
Yeah, I think this is Sophie McMahon staying on here. Yeah. And Sophie's doing well. It's a very big game for Sophie. Probably the best batsman she would ever have played against, and she's doing well.
Full looking for the Yorker. Hit straight to the leg side. Laura Moritz is having a superb day in the field. Saves another run there.
Laura's an excellent fielder. Good arm. Very energetic in the field. I think Sophie's trying to bowl full now. She's got a long on, out. She keeps it right up to the bat now. She should be okay.
That's really good stuff from McMahon. Nice and full into the block hole. And all Campbell can do is get that down to long on for a single.
Yeah, super shot. Charmaine seems to be happy enough just to try to rotate the strike and give as much of her to Taylor, but Ireland equally are doing quite well keeping her away from the strike. Two good length balls there.
Nicely bowled, just drags her length back a little. Taylor looking to be aggressive, but beaten outside the off stump.
I noticed too, it was a short enough ball and she seems to like playing it off the front foot. You know, some players would rock back and maybe pull it across to the leg side, but she plays it off the front foot, a short ball, which is interesting, and trying to put it through point.
Hit down the ground, nearly going to hit the stumps, and that's a super stop from Sophie McMahon. More runs saved, Ireland thriving in the field.
You tend to like stopping them off your own bowling, don't you?
Yeah, Sophie McMahon, just 22 years of age. In fact, this Irish squad with an average age of just 20, a much younger squad than the West Indies one. West Indies one average age 27 and a half. Perhaps that youth just showing, the exuberance of youth showing in the field for Ireland. Hit into the offside. There's a fielder out there, going to fall just short of Gabby Lewis. One bounce to her. Single from the over. Another single from that delivery. And with one ball to go, Sophie McMahon 1 for 20. She'd be delighted with this spell, Miriam.
Absolutely. That's a great start for her and their T20 career here against a very high side.
Cut away, going to be a dot ball to finish her spell on 2020 International debut. Sophie McMahon, 4 overs, 1 for 20, well bowled.
Well bowled. Glad we picked her. She did very well.
Sophie McMahon, 4 overs, 1 for 20.
Let's take a look at those bowling figures. McMahon now bowled out 4 overs, the maximum in 2020 International cricket, 1 for 20 for her. A wicket on international debut, the other wicket to fall, a run out. So the only successful bowler so far, McMahon.
I'm wondering, will she bring Laura back? She was quite expensive for her 2 overs, and I see she hasn't bowled Gabby yet. So interested to see she's changed her bowling again. It looks like Louise Little coming back on, who was 8 off her first over.
It's going to be the Pembroke fast bowler, Louise Little. And what a month for the Little family, because at the start of the month, Josh Little made his one-day international debut, and today his sister, Louise Little, makes her 2020 international debut. A brilliant story.
Absolutely, yeah. They're a very talented family, aren't they? And Louise is so young as well. She's been around the scene for a couple of years now, and she's progressing and getting better and better and better. She had a slight problem with no balls at the beginning of the season, which she hasn't bowled one today, so obviously she's worked extremely hard to correct that, which is great to see. If she just gets a nice line of length going, goes for 6 over 6, will take 6.
Starts with a bit of a full toss, and Azim Ali Beg holds his right arm out at square leg, and he indicates to Paul Reynolds that's going to be a no ball. Miriam Greeley just put the curse on Louise Little there, so we're going to have a no ball. The one allowed over waist height, she's going to be given a warning as well, rightly by Paul Reynolds. And of course, what that's going to mean is we'll have a free hit.
And they can't change the field, isn't that right, Lenny?
Yeah, same batter on strike, so cannot change the field. It was a really good stop at square leg, saving runs, but a free hit for Stefanie Taylor. She picks out Kim Garth at cover, who is right back on the circle very cleverly, so no damage done from the free hit.
Yep, she bowled a nice length there, just short of a length. Stefanie couldn't get under it.
Little not just a bowler by any stretch, also a talented batter.
She's coming on. She's coming on at this level now. I would expect her to be going down a little bit lower down the order. But she is a talented bat, yeah. She's a good, powerful girl.
Hit into the offside, just over the head of Kim Garth at cover. She crept a little bit closer, and it's going to be a boundary for super batting from Stefanie Taylor.
Yeah, encouraging to see the ball in the air. That could have easily gone into Kim's hands, but she's opening up now, Stefanie. Obviously, they have a target in mind.
Here's the replay. It was powerfully hit into the offside. A leap into the air from Kim Garth, but she couldn't even get a hand on it. And Stefanie Taylor, it's a bit of a one-woman show at the moment.
She's a powerful girl, isn't she? But she was also using the pace of Lulu's bowling there, because she just sort of stand and delivered.
2,800 runs now for Stefanie Taylor in 2020 international cricket. What a record that is. The leading West Indian run scorer of all time. And she's proving so powerful and devastating here at Claremont Road in Dublin. Very well fielded by Una Raymond Hoey down at long on, but plenty of time to get back for 2. Taylor's going to keep the strike.
I think that's what she's going to try and do, Lenny, till the end of the game here. Try and keep as much strike as possible. Very, very powerful. Manoeuvring the fielders around, finding the gaps as well. I mean, we have the boundaries well covered, but she's still managing to find the gaps. I think Lulu has to pull it back a tiny bit. Low full tosses are really bread and butter to Stefanie Taylor.
Hammered into the leg side. That's a glorious shot. But there is protection down there. Going to be Una Raymond Hoey, so just a single. But Taylor showing the power that she possesses.
And she loves that cross bat shot too, to deep mid wicket. She really can hit the ball anywhere in the ground, anywhere in the field. I'd say her wagon wheel is extremely interesting to look at. Power down the ground again. Louise Little looking for the block hole. And
Una Raymond Hoey getting a real workover down there at long on. 3 balls in a row she's had to field.
Well, she's got youth on her side, hasn't she, Lenny? She can run around all day long. Good arm on her as well. Let's finish it well now, Lulu.
Clipped off her legs by Taylor. That's a shot of great class. One of the shots of the day for me. She walked across her stumps. It was a simple flick of the wrists. 4 runs all the way.
It was a super shot. In fairness, nothing wrong with the delivery, but just a very good shot. Just used her wrist, used the pace of the ball and flicked it. Here we are in the replay. Flicks it beautifully off her leg. Nobody out there.
Shades of the great Isaac Vivian Alexander Richards in that stand and deliver stuff. Clipped off her legs. And Stefanie Taylor showing why she is not just one of the best batters in the world for the West Indies, but one of the best batters in the world in women's cricket, full stop.
Without a doubt now. She's hurried along now to 43 off 34 balls. And she won't stop. She'll keep going. She'll keep going. It's not about carrying her bat or anything. She'll keep going to get as many as she possibly can.
And Laura Delaney's going to continue to ring the changes. Lara Moritz coming back into the attack now. But it's all about Stefanie Taylor at the moment for the West Indies. Looks for a single. Well fielded again. That's Celeste Rack this time. Ireland looked really on it in the field. Much improved fielding performance of recent times.
They are. They're a very good fielding side, and people have commented before on how good they are at T20. They've dramatically improved their fielding over the last since Aaron has come in. Really, they've worked terribly hard on it, because at T20 you have to be very good fielders. Mary
Waldron going to come up to the stumps. You see, getting the face mask on, as she always wears. She kind of pioneered really in international cricket. Up to the stumps. Nicely bowled by Lara Moritz. Really good stuff, and just crucial that Ireland keep Taylor at the non-striker's end.
That was a very good ball. They're coming in a few paces for Charmaine. As you say, trying to keep her off the strike. Good dot ball.
Cut away. She will get off strike, but it will just be a single out to Gabby Lewis at deep cover. Tell us about Stefanie Taylor, Miriam. Just 27 years of age, but she's been around for over a decade. Started in the Big Bash, of course in the Women's IPL as well. A T20 average of 36.
Yeah, I mean, the WBBL she played in, and she was outstanding there as well. As you say, she's a vastly experienced captain, lifted the World Cup trophy, an all-rounder, and apparently a very nice girl as well. Well fielded.
Super stop from Celeste Rack at backward point. It was cut away powerfully again, showing the power that Taylor possesses. But a boundary save there without doubt. 3 runs saved from the total. Yeah, Stefanie Taylor lifting the ICC World 2020 in India in 2016 as part of that famous double, men's and women's, on the same day in Kolkata in eastern India. Slower ball into the ground. It's almost bounced twice. Azim Ali Beg's going to have a decision to make, and he's correctly had to give that as a no ball.
It looked like she was trying to bowl a leg break there, a slow ball leg break, came out the back of the hand. So a slow ball just went wrong. But it's good to see her trying it, Lenny, you know. Good to see her trying it.
Yeah, and the change in the laws last October with the latest revision from the MCC, of course, means that any ball that bounces twice of any kind is a no ball. And I think we've seen a free hit signalled as well.
I think it's a free hit was signalled there, yes.
Outside the offside, going to be signalled wide. And we'll just see, will Azim Ali Beg, he's going to signal free hit again, as you see on your screens there. Little unlucky there for the bowler.
She was. I mean, she was just trying to get it as full as she could. It just drifted a little bit to the offside.
Shorter, it's bolder, but a no ball has been called. So even though it was a free hit, we're going to have another no ball. This time the front foot is overstepped, and we're going to have another free hit. Azim Ali Beg looks like he's at a rodeo, because he's got to keep signalling.
He's getting plenty to do, isn't he? Really, we're having everything in this over.
The wheels just coming off a little in this over, unfortunately, for Ireland women. But that's the pressure that Stefanie Taylor is putting on the bowlers. They're going to have another free hit now. Powered down the ground. Straight to long on. Just going to be a single, and that will end the 15th over. We might even still have one ball to go because of all the no balls and wides we do.
I was wondering if they were counting themselves, that Stephanie was just hoping to get to Stefani was going down the far end just to take a single and face the next over.
Yeah, stretching our graphics package at the bottom because already had 8 deliveries in this over. 2 no balls and a wide, 2 free hits, in fact 3 free hits. And runs are going to finish the over. It's been a really expensive one and a damaging one for Ireland because that's 4 more runs to the total. Campbell getting in the act now.
Well, it was a poor delivery, Lenny, wide outside off stump. These girls aren't going to miss hitting those for 4 runs.
Yeah, much happier West Indian camp. You see the replay on your screen. Campbell gets her account underway. The first boundary for her. But to comment on the last 5 overs of what you have to think might be the Stefani Taylor show, I'm going to pass over now to Mark Jones, who'll be joined by Janice Walsh.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, things have moved on nicely for the West Indies in the last 5 overs, Janice.
They have, but if you're Irish, you have to be very pleased with that. To restrict the West Indies to 86 for 2 off 15 overs is a terrific effort by the bowlers, and they've been backed up by the fielders. It's good to see we're competing on a level field here when it comes to fielding. It's excellent. It really is. I do think, though, now we're sort of we're going to have some fireworks. I think the West Indies are going to look to push this on.
Well, the platform has been laid, hasn't it? 86 off 15. Still 8 wickets in the hutch to go, and we see a change of bowling here at the Cecil Metcalf end with Kim Garth coming on. I think Kim can finish out from this end. I think she just bowled a 2 up the top. So where will the West Indians be looking to hit Kim, do you think? Very well bowled. Yorked outside the off stump there. Very full, very straight from Kim. Good start to the over.
I think the West Indian bats are very familiar with Kim. They know of her record in the Australian Big Bash. She bowled for the Super Sixes, the Sydney Sixes, and at one in the final in 2017, I think she bowled the Super Over. So she's used to bowling under pressure.
Again, full this time. Carved over fine point. Third man got around nicely for 2 runs.
That's Lara Moritz down there. She's having an excellent afternoon in the field. Anything wide, if anything wide outside the off stump is going to be punished here.
And Stefani Taylor moves on to 49 now with that shot.
Just there's been a little change in the field. Moritz has been moved into the covers, and they've put Louise Little out at the mid-wicket boundary.
Again, back of a length this time from Garth. Swing and a miss through to Mary Waldron. It's been a good over so far from Kim.
Yeah, again, she's changing her speed, and she has Stefani Taylor sort of in 2 minds. Stefani was sort of stuck there. She didn't move her feet again. Kim has been around a long time. She knows what to do in this sort of a situation.
Yes, very much so, as you say, bowling the Big Bash in the last couple of seasons. Outside off this time, and third man has been brought up into the circle, and that's just been worked away down to third man for 4 runs. A little bit of a let off there for the West Indian batsman, maybe, and that brings up the 50 for Stefani Taylor. 51 runs coming off 41 deliveries. See this in the replay. Sorry, Janice.
Here comes the replay here again. It was beautifully played. There's no third man, so all she had to do was guide the ball down there, and the outfield is getting faster and faster with the sunshine and the little bit of wind.
It was actually very nicely played. That was actually quite well bowled from Kim. It was pitched on off stump and came back into the batter, and was very nicely played down to third man there, find the gaps in the outfield.
She's coming round the wicket now. Kim has decided again it's not a bad move. It means that Stefani Taylor can't sort of settle, and she's shaking it up a little bit. Kim, it's nice to see.
Yes, we obviously talked about this. Mix it up as much as possible. Outside the off stump this time. Chance of a run out direct hit. Umpire Reynolds is shaking his head this time. Well run.
Yeah, she looked as though she was fairly safely home here, but again, a direct hit is good. Sophie McMahon, I think it was, with the direct hit, and it makes the batsman think twice about taking the quick single, and it's a sign of very good fielding.
Yeah, the Irish fielding has been very good today. We see this on the replay. Played very hard, attacked. And yeah, just made her ground there, I think.
That was a lovely ball by Kim. You could see she sort of gave it a little bit of extra. She bent her back and smashed it in just short of a length. It was very difficult to play. It came up round Charmaine Campbell's chest, and she had to play it back down into the ground.
So that brings it down to the 16th over. The West Indies have moved on to 93 for 2.
It's very good. The Irish team and Laura Delaney would have taken this at the beginning, I think. To have only Stefanie Taylor getting over 50 is excellent. I would expect now, the West Indies, I think, would expect Stefanie to push on. I would think they're looking for at least 140, 150 here, and they're going to have to hit the ball hard if they're going to get that score.
Oh, just straying onto the leg side there. From Moritz, and it is just dribbled over the boundary rope for 4 leg buys this. I'm just straying leg side, trying to go straight, but unfortunately just a little bit too straight. What's a good score, do you think, Janice? What would the Irish be happy to chase?
Oh, if we can restrict them to 120, we'd be happy to chase it. We'd be happy to chase 100. I don't think we're going to restrict them, but it would be fantastic if we could restrict them to 120.
Catch. Oh, great effort at backward point by Celeste Rack. Just got a little fingertip to it, push it around the corner, but it still managed to go over the boundary for 4. You see this on the replay here. Full and wide by Moritz, and absolutely crunched away through backward point for 4.
Yeah, a big flash outside the off stump by Charmaine, or Stefanie Taylor. Went down for 4. Celeste did well to dive to her right. I think she might have got a fingertip to it. It was a good effort.
So again, the Irish bowler under pressure at the start of this over. Goes full this time, and well fielded off her own bowling by Moritz. Just come through for the single though.
Yeah, she got down very well. She got down very quickly. Sometimes it's very hard to do in the bowlers in their follow through to get down low and field the ball. But as Miriam says, they're quite able to do it off their own bowling.
I would have used the old boot myself for that one. What do you think, Janice?
Yeah, possibly. But then you risk getting a sort of a broken ankle.
Fair point. Full again, straight back at her, and a great stop again this time on Moritz. Chance for run out. Oh, a bit of a mix up there between the Irish ladies.
Yeah, that's very athletic by Lara Moritz. Very athletic indeed to dive down to her right to stop the ball. You can see that the West Indies are beginning to push on. They wanted the single there. They don't like it when dot balls add up.
Yeah, dot balls are key at this stage of the innings. 2 balls to go in the over here. It's been very full this time. Umpire Reynolds is wondering if it's gone all the way. 1 bounce for it's gone all the way for 6. Single by umpire Ali Bag. Just checking with the square leg umpire. Then he doesn't think it was over waist high for a no ball, but very tight. We see it on the replay here.
Yeah, it was a big full toss. She sort of had a big welly at it. I think the fielders lost sight of it very slightly. A great shot.
Full again and crunched over extra cover this time, but didn't really get a hold of it. So it's just the one just to end the over. An expensive over this time.
Yeah, the last 2 balls really weren't up to scratch. Of sort of that's happy birthday to me for the bats, and they just take a big swing. I think they'd be disappointed that they didn't get more runs out of those last 2 balls.
Yeah, 17 coming off that over. The score moves on to 110 for 2 after 17. Captain Delaney has brought herself on now at the Cecil Metcalf end. 3 overs to go. Laura's got a couple of bowling options left, but decided to bring herself back on.
Yeah, I think what she's doing, she is just rotating her bowlers again, not to let the bat settle. It's quite clever.
Very straight field set. Called a no ball. Driven. It was a wide delivery, driven in deep to extra cover for 4 runs. The no ball was called by square leg.
Yeah, I think it's a fielder issue.
Yeah, fantastic shot, but it's definitely a fielder issue. Not enough inside the circle this time. Bit of a schoolboy error there from Delaney. Brings about a free hit. Oh, well bowled. Well bowled. The batter was nearly through the shot. It was so slow, but very well bowled by Laura Delaney.
Yeah, it was. It was clever bowling. It was very clever bowling. Stefani Taylor thought the ball was going to come onto her much faster than that, and she saw it going all the way over the scoreboard, I think, at Cow Corner. But she had to pull out.
Back of a length this time. Bunted down to long on. They're looking for 2, but no. Very well fielded in the deep again. Ireland's ground field has been very good today, Janice.
Yeah, it has. And again, just like the Irish men, the Irish women can compete against anybody when it comes to fielding. And I think they've done a lot of work over the winter on their fielding. And it's certainly showing here.
Well, it is a very young athletic team, so you'd like to think one of the things that is controllable is your fielding. You can always improve on that. And it's certainly shown today. Wide this time from Delaney and hits straight to point for a dot.
Yeah, well bowled. She bowls sort of a tricky little balls that that as a bat you have to work to get away. Sometimes they don't come on. She varies her speed, varies her length, and as a batsman you sort of have to keep thinking.
Short this time, top edge. Can we get under that? Oh, that was a big chance. Unfortunately not taken in the just at backward square.
We'll show you the replay here, and they always say about if you're going under a high ball for a high catch that you need to get into position quickly, and you'll be able to see from the replay now that the fielder doesn't really get into position quickly, and they're sort of and they lose
Laura
sight of it.
Just straying this time. Sorry, Janice, going a little bit too full and absolutely hammered through the offside for 4 runs. I think it was Louise Little there on the last one that went straight up in the air, and unfortunately just never got herself into a correct position to catch that. But the West Indies starting to get away from Ireland now with a couple of overs to go. Laura really needs a dot to come out of this over. She's gone full and straight this time, and she has worn that one on the ankle, I think.
She has. She's a trooper. She's up.
Well, she's just got up and got on with it by the looks of things, but I think that has really hurt.
Yeah. Charmaine Campbell was down the wicket, couple of steps down the wicket, and thrashed the ball straight back towards the bowler along the ground, and has hit Laura, I think, on the instep, maybe the inside of the ankle. Sore, very sore.
Looked very sore, right? We might be able to get a replay of that just to see it. They're calling for help here.
Yeah, she's
she's
coming off, I think.
Just here in the replay. Oh, I think it's a bit of a double whammy there. The ball seemed to strike her very low down on the ankle, but also seemed to go over on her ankle as well. So Laura Delaney's been helped off the pitch here, which is a terrible sight to see, and she seems to be in a lot of pain.
The player going onto the pitch now to take over after with Laura coming off with this is Leah Paul, who plays for Marion Cricket Club.
Laura is getting a great round of applause here after being escorted off the pitch there by the physio and an assistant coach. But that was the end of the 18th over, and hopefully not the end of Laura's activity for the day. The West Indies have moved on for 122 for 2. 18 over is gone here, so we're into the last 12 bowls. Looks like Celeste Rack is going to bowl penultimate over from the Wes Earl end in this the first of 3 Hanley Energy T20 Internationals between Ireland and the West Indies.
Again, Celeste, very experienced leg break bowler, one of our 6 contracted players.
Slow and in the Oh, that's been just very poorly fielded in the deep.
Just when we were saying how good their fielding was, we've sort of put the muckers on them slightly. And that was just... It was Rebecca Stockel out there who sort of just misfielded slightly.
Yeah, it's an interesting field that the Irish ladies have set here. They've got 3 on the deep boundary. Again, that's been hit to wide mid-on, this time looking for 2. Good throw, and unlucky there. But now well fielded in the deep this time.
Shemaine Campbell ran her 2 runs very quickly there, and she was very quickly back down to the bowler's end.
I think Celeste Rack needs to get the ball a little bit fuller now for the rest of the over. Just an interesting stat here. In the last 5 overs, the West Indies have put on 61 runs, which is basically double their score from the first 12 overs.
Well, we knew that they were going to increase because they have the luxury of having quite a lot of batting to come.
And only the 2 wickets down as well, Janice. Fuller this time, and very well bowled. Big swing and a miss from Stefanie Taylor. And that's very well bowled by Celeste Rack. Very brave as well after going the distance in the first 2 balls. She tossed that one up, attempted the stroke. Hopefully just get to see that in the replay now.
Yeah, clever bowling by Celeste Rack. She tossed it up into the air. You can see by the replay, she tossed it up into the air. Stefanie had her head in the air also. Came down the track a little bit, big swing and a miss, and bowled.
Yeah, very nicely bowled.
Nice to see as well that Mary Waldron was in the perfect position, that if the ball hadn't hit the stumps, Mary was there ready to take the stumping.
And the new batter is number 48, Chanel Henry, coming in now. There's 2 balls to go in this over, I think. So it's all or nothing. Kind of on a little bit of a shot to nothing here. She's got 9 balls left. What do you think, Janice? Just go in and swing from the hip?
Absolutely. She's from Jamaica, Chanel. She's played 14 matches. She's got an average of 11.33, so she's not shy. She's going to be able to, I think, go in and have a go.
So no change. Well, there is a slight change in the field. We brought in probably one across into the mid-wicket area to try and stop that one. Again, a big swing and a miss this time. Rack goes full outside off stump. Big swing and a miss from the new batter, and that's a dot. Dots are crucial at this stage of the innings.
Yeah, but you can see the intent of the bat. It's great.
Again, floated up outside off, and that's hit down the ground. Very well fielded, very well in and out.
You can see the intent of the West Indies batsmen now. They are certainly looking to take on the bowlers.
Last ball of this over. It's been a good over so far from Celeste Rack. Can't she get out of the over? Just evades mid wicket there. Out to long on for just 1. And that ends the 19th over. A good over for Ireland in that case. Only 7 runs from it.
Yeah, that's excellent. Second last over of the innings to get only 7 runs out of it. That's excellent bowling from Celeste Rack. And the fielders are backing up the bowling by getting the ball in quickly, attacking the ball and getting it in fast.
My mistake was actually 8 off that over. So that brings the West Indies on to 130 for 3 off 19 overs. It looks like Kim Garth is going to bowl the penultimate over, which we kind of figured, going by the figures, and obviously Laura going off. We'll bring you news on how Laura is as soon as we get it over here. Hopefully it's not too serious. So with Laura gone off, I think would it be Mary taking over? She's certainly moving the fielders around.
Yes, it would be Mary. Kim Garth is vice captain. Mary would always give her opinion as wicketkeeper, but Kim is the vice captain.
Okay. But both of them seem to be changing the field here. Deep square has gone back, so pretty much similar field to the last over. Big swing. Has it got enough on it to carry all the way? And a very nice catch on the boundary. And it looks like Louise Little has made up for her earlier mistake with a very nice catch down the deep square boundary. Just see this on the replay here, Janice.
Yeah, you could see she got into position early. You could see that she didn't lose sight of it. It sort of didn't go over her head at all. She kept her eye on it all the time and took it comfortably in front of her body. Very good catch. Nice catch.
That's the end of Shemaine Campbell's innings.
Incoming batsman wearing shirt number 44, Natasha Mclean.
And the new batsman is Natasha Nataline. Great start to this, the final over from Kim Garth in Ireland. Very good catch in the deep there by Louise Little.
Natasha Mclean is another right-hand bat. She's normally a top-order bat. She hails from Jamaica, the beautiful island of Jamaica. And again, she's got an average of 19.56, which is good. No slouch with the bat.
Yeah, it's a healthy average, all right. No change in the field here from the Irish. Third man up in the circle again. So you'd like to think that Kim is going to go full, which she has. Back over her head. Oh, and just evaded diving mid-off there, and that's gone for 4. Lovely shot down the ground.
Lovely shot. She stood still, just swung the bat. It's business as usual. Straight back. You can have a look here at the replay. There wasn't a huge amount of movement. She just a big swing of the bat. Straight to the boundary.
Nicely, very nicely played. I think if Ireland could keep the West Indies under 145 here, they would have taken out at the start. I would have thought, Janice.
Absolutely, I totally agree. I'm sure the West Indies would want to push on 150, 160, but this is their first look at Irish wickets since 2008.
And Kim decided to go round the wicket, and that's hammered to point. Very well fielded though. That's a dot again, and the last over is absolutely crucial.
It was a nice shot, a nice cut shot, straight to Leah Paul at point.
Leopold,
and she is a very good fielder, very athletic.
Leopold, the substitute fielder, coming on for Laura Delaney. So halfway through the final over, Ireland will be very happy with this. Kim deciding to go back over the wicket this time.
In the first fixture, these two in 2008, the West Indies came away winners. It'll be interesting to see if that happens again today. The two sides haven't played since.
Outside off stump this time and signal wide from Paul Reynolds. Kim just missing her line this time. Very difficult bowling at this time of the innings with batters moving around the creases a lot, and Kim might have second guessed herself there, just bowled slightly too far outside the off stump, but given a wide there from Paul Reynolds. Ooh, Fuller a little bit straighter this time from Kim, and a big swing and a miss. Again, another dot ball. These dots are crucial at the back end of an innings.
Yeah, Sinead Henry went through the shot again, and you could see the second time she played it was the shot that she meant to play. It was a straighter bat. The second time she went through the shot. First time was a little bit of a cross bat, and the ball just beat her for pace, I think.
Full again, this time from Garth, and another swing and a miss. Nearly a carbon copy of the last delivery. It's been a good last over from Kim. Janice,
yeah,
just
Kim,
the 5 runs so far.
Kim works very hard at her game, and she's very critical of her own game. So, as I said before, she's well used to bowling at this stage of a match, when the pressure's on, when the bats are taking on the bowlers. I think she enjoys it, although you're never sure with Kim. And she would want to beat and dominate this player.
Never an easy time to bowl the back end of a T20 innings. Deciding this time, a bit of a change in the field. Third man's coming up. Deep square is going out, and Kim has gone round the wicket. So obviously going to bowl a little bit shorter, we would have thought, but certainly aim it in at the body. No, she second guessed it, gone full, and that's been hammered down the ground for 4. Very, very well played by Chanel. 4 off the last ball, bringing 9 off the last over. But still, Ireland would have taken out at the start. 139 runs. Is well easy to be, not easily chased, but is Ireland still in the game here, Janice, at the end of the first innings?
Yes, I think it's a super effort to keep the West Indies under 140, and we certainly would have taken that at the beginning. Excellent bowling changes, The West Indies batting was superb. Brittany Cooper with got 17. Stefanie Taylor, the pick of the bats, with 75.
Yeah, I think Taylor really anchored that innings, didn't she? There was with the early wicket. of Hayley Matthews. It was brought in Stephanie Taylor, and she 75 off 53 was really required from the West Indies on what looks to be a kind of a tacky enough kind of wicket. Just bringing up the bowling figures here now, and then only the.
Well, Celeste Rack 1 for 16 off 4. Kim Garth again 1 for 19 off 4, but again bowling at the death, which is superb. Economy rate of 4.75 is excellent when you are bowling at the death. 1 for 20 for Sophie McMahon off her 4. And the other bowlers were rotated very well. Louise Little got a taste of what it's like to bowl to bats of this standard. Lara Moritz 0 for 43. And Laura Delaney 0 for 16 off 2. Again, you're taking the quality of the opposition. That's excellent to keep them to 139.
Okay, so just bringing up the summary on screen here. So the West Indies made 139 for 4 in their 20 overs, with Stephanie Taylor top scoring with 75. And there'll be a 10-minute break now when we see the Irish reply.
welcome back onto the field. Umpires Paul Reynolds.
Yeah, welcome back to Claremont Road and the YMCA Cricket Club grounds in Sandymount in Dublin 4 in Ireland for this, the first of 3 of the Hanley Energy 2020 International Series between Ireland women and West Indies women. After winning the toss, West Indies women, led by their skipper, the quite wonderful Stephanie Taylor. She's made 75 off just 53 balls. She's led her side from a precarious position of just 61 after 13 overs. They doubled their score in the next 5, and they've battled up to 139 for 4, probably a little bit above par, on a wicket offering a little assistance for the bowlers. And Andrew Leonard here bringing you these pictures. Delighted to be joined by Janice Walsh for the first time today.
Good afternoon to everybody. If you're just joining us, it's now a beautiful day down in Claremont Road, YMCA Cricket Club. If you're in the area, you should drop in because Ireland are going to chase 139.
Yeah, 140 to win for Ireland women. It's going to be Mary Waldron and Gabby Lewis, the local girl, on her home ground to open the batting. Continuing that great dynasty of Lewis cricketers to play for Ireland. And West Indies women, it was all about their skipper, Stephanie Taylor. Janice.
Yeah, she was super. She played shots all around the ground. She seemed to have lots of time. She got into position early. I think Laura Delaney's tactic of rotating the bowlers had her a little bit maybe slower than she would like. But she looked very comfortable. It's her first time on an Irish wicket since 2008. Any West Indies first time on an Irish wicket since 2008. And they seem to be coping very well with it.
She made 90 on her T20 International debut as a 16-year-old. Stephanie Taylor, she's a wonderful record against Ireland, and she's continued that today with a brilliant 75, leading her side to 139. But for the West Indies, it's going to be Shamelia Connell to open the bowling, and it's going to be Mary Waldron on strike, who's going to start with a dot. And if you're just joining us, a little bit of concern and worry about the Irish skipper, Laura Delaney. She took a firm blow in her lower leg, and she's currently getting treatment at the moment.
Yeah, you can't fault Laura Delaney for her bravery. The ball was absolutely smashed back down the wicket and she stuck her foot out to stop it, and it hit her on the ankle.
Outside the off stump, half an appeal, not giving us a wide. Much more aggressive attacking field from the West Indies, a slip in place. That's Hayley Matthews at slip.
I would expect that from the West Indies tall bowler coming in medium fast, at least one slip. I'm surprised there's not 2.
6-3 offside field, just 2 fielders allowed outside the circle. Third man on deep cover. And Mary Waldron's away. She finds deep cover. Just going to be a single. Dual international Mary Waldron, and very much the veteran of the squad now, Janice, the only player in her 30s in this Irish team.
Yeah, she's vastly experienced, Mary. She devotes a lot of time to fitness and to improving her game. She played football for Ireland. She obviously now plays cricket for Ireland. And she's also a very highly qualified cricket umpire, part of the ICC Cricket Umpires Development Panel. She's one of only 8 women on that, and she was recently selected up to that. So fantastic devotion to the sport.
Multi-talented Mary Waldron opening the batting with Gabby Lewis, who'll be on strike for the first time today. Starts with a pull shot. Skies, half a chance. What a catch that is. Lewis has got to go. First ball. Sensational catch from mid-off, running across. She looks like she might have hurt herself a little, but that is brilliant from West Indies. The first Irish wicket has to go.
Yeah, super catch. It sort of, the ball popped up. She sort of seemed to hit it on the splice. It went straight to mid-on. It probably is a little bit of a nick in Gabby's game, that she does sometimes put up a chance early on to mid-off or mid-on.
Yeah, you just saw the replay on your screen there. It was a sensational catch from mid-off. She had to make strong ground. It was Chanel Henry who took the catch, diving full length to her right. Sensational catch, the best piece of fielding we've seen all day, without doubt. And what a blow for Ireland. Gabby Lewis, one of their big hitters. She's got to go first ball.
Yeah, it was possibly a ball that she possibly should have defended, not to play it straight back to the mid-on fielder. Yeah, it is a blow. Gabby is a talented player, and we certainly would have expected her to stay around to be able to cope with this bowling. It brings Kim Garth to the crease earlier than she probably would have liked.
Wicket in the first over, trouble for Ireland women. Their chase, Kim Garth, the Pembroke all-rounder on strike. She's underway immediately, just clipped off her legs pleasingly. And although Mary Waldron stumbles at the non-striker's end, plenty of time to get back for two.
Yeah, it was a lovely shot. The ball came up onto Kim's hip and she just guided it nicely backward of square, run for two. These two players are contracted players now with Cricket Ireland, and it's fantastic for them. They now have the freedom to be able to work on their game, work on their batting, their fielding, their bowling, without the worries, the financial worries, having to work, whatever. And it is a huge development for the women's game in Ireland.
Short again. No run there for Garth. Yes, Garth, one of 6 Ireland women awarded contracts for the first time in the history of Irish women's cricket. And let's take a look at this Irish squad. It's a very young one, an average age of just less than 20. And plenty of talent in this lineup, Janice.
Oh yeah, there is. It really is terrific. Louise Little, her bowling, Lara Moritz, Celeste Rack. It's terrific. The bats, Gabby Lewis, Laura Delaney, Shauna Kavanagh. It's terrific, and it is. We are building for the future, and this is the team that we're going to build our future on. There are also girls coming through because of the Super 3 programme that we have running here in Ireland, which started last weekend. So players are getting used to playing all 3 formats of the game, and able to develop their skills. Also playing teams of this quality like the West Indies. They're also going to play Zimbabwe later on in the summer. And to be able to play teams of this quality will obviously increase the standard of cricket here.
Yeah, much more experienced West Indies side. Their average age over 27. Hundreds of 2020 international caps in the lineup. And it's going to be Shakira Selman to open the bowling from this end. Nearest to us at the commentary position, that's the Cecil Metcalf end here at the YMCA Cricket Club. Right arm over the wicket. We saw the West Indies bowlers in the warm-up. They really get it through. Good pace from both their openers. Shy at the stumps, but no run there. You see a few youngsters on the pitch in the background, Janice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great to see everybody here watching. They're certainly watching cricket at its best, and it's a beautiful day. The West Indies bowling is challenging in the true traditions of West Indian bowling.
Yeah, lovely strong action that Shakira Selman has. She's from Barbados, 29 years of age. And the West Indies, before they came here to Ireland, they had a 14-day training camp in Antigua. So a very well-drilled outfit under their head coach, Henderson Springer, and assistant coach Gus Logie, the great Gus Logie.
Yeah.
Waldron looks to use her feet down the track. Athletic fielding again. Big appeal as Ali Baig indicates not out.
Yeah, Mary Waldron there turned her back on the ball, and the bowler could see that, and she certainly wasn't going to let her away with that. I think as the West Indies would be very aware of their ICC ranking, which is it's 4th in the T20 competition, but in the Champions League it's sort of they're down at number 10 or 11, and they would want to increase that and get that standard up.
Yeah, the ICC Women's Championship, they're in 7th of the 8 ranking teams. They're going to need to win all 3 ODIs most likely to qualify automatically for the Women's World Cup, or else they could be off to the qualifier. With the talent they have in their squad, that's not going to be what they want. So the perfect preparation for those 3 crucial Women's Championship ODIs across the water in England here in Dublin. We can see the athleticism of not only the West Indian fast bowlers, but their fielders. Sensational.
Yeah, the fielders are backing up their bowlers very well, and if they aren't, you can see that they're being glared at. The bowlers expect the fielders to attack the ball. They expect the ball to come in quickly, and there's no slouching out there.
Yeah, beautifully bowled. She's tying Waldron down, and a little bit like we saw for the West Indies when Brittany Cooper couldn't get going. Mary Waldron just finding it hard to get the ball away to start her innings.
Yeah, Mary's played 48 T20 since 2010. Her batting average is 7.37. She's probably only recently begun to open the batting, so this is a new challenge, but it also shows that she's been working on her defence and being able to play the quicker bowlers.
Yeah, looking to use her feet outside the off stump through to the keeper. More dots. In fact, 6 of them. It's going to be a maiden to start from Selman. Beautifully bowled by her. Ireland 3 for 1 after 2.
Yeah, it's very good bowling. The disappointing thing possibly for the bats is that they're not looking to push the ball around maybe for one and keep the scoreboard ticking over. They're sort of trying to hit the leather off the ball, which certainly the West Indies aren't going to let them do. They should really be looking for the singles, I think. Maybe that's what they've just discussed.
Yeah, it's a good pitch here at YMCA. A little bit in it for the bowlers though. We saw that a few coming through with good carry through to the keeper. Short pulled by Garth. Just a little bit beaten for pace, but she gets it away for a single. And that's what happened to Gabby Lewis. Just a little bit quicker, bit of rise, and that caught her out with that stunning catch at mid-off.
Yeah, it was a super catch. I don't think Kim got fully hold of that either. You could see her running through the shot again. But at least they ran the single. They've sort of rotate the strike, and that's good cricket.
Waldron still just can't quite get it away. As you said, Janice, she'd have spent a lot of her time in her career in the batting order 7, 8, 9, elevated up the order. Certainly very capable with the bat.
Yeah, she is, and it's tricky going from there, but she has worked on it a lot over the winter, and it's paying off. She has shots. She certainly plays straight. She's able to pull the ball.
Looks for the quick single, half a mix-up, and a fumble from the fielder allows Garth to get through for a quick single. The pressure was building. Waldron did get off strike.
She did, and it's good cricket. It's nice to see. Everybody has their heart in their mouth a little bit, but Mary Waldron and Kim Garth are fit. So they have to trust each other. They both play in Pembroke Cricket Club, so they're used to playing together. And they put the fielder under pressure, and it worked.
Nicely bowled. Plenty of time for a quick single that time. Good running by Garth, and despite the direct hit, she'll get home for a single. Again, the West Indies fielding really shining.
Yeah, isn't that terrific? This is great cricket. Good bowling, nice little push. The batsmen have obviously clearly had a little conversation and decided we're going to, if we can't get the big shot, we're certainly going to get the single. Playing the ball with nice soft hands and able then to take the single.
You just see Connell at the top of her run-up. To get her run-up going, you see a little skip. And there she goes. She comes in. Interesting the different way the bowlers find their rhythm.
Yeah, there was one bowler I remember bowled for England. She had a very definite hop, skip and a jump. I can't remember her name, but she certainly, it used to cause great hilarity amongst the bats when we used to see her warming up. Whatever it takes to get you going into your bowling stride.
Driven nicely by Mary Waldron, but she picks out mid-on. It's going to end the third over. Runs hard to come by so far for Ireland women. It's 6 for 1.
Yeah, Shamina Connell has got her batsmen tied up. They're struggling to get her away. The West Indies will be very happy with that start. Again, we need to remember that this is the 4th ranked team playing the 10th ranked team. So for Ireland, it is very much a steep learning curve. We need to watch these teams, watch the bowlers, watch the batsmen, see how they play, learn from it, and then go back to our nets and to our training and work on different areas of our game. This is the first international T20 for Ireland this season, the first of this series, and they will play Zimbabwe in an ODI and T20 series in July. So it's the start of a great summer for this team.
Shakira Selman is going to bowl her second over. She'll stay on. She just come back from the women's IPL. What an experience that was for her, and a great positive development in the women's side of the game, seeing, even though it was only 3 sides and kind of an inaugural format, surely there's going to be an expanded version of the women's IPL in the future.
Yes, and you can see the emphasis going on to the women's game now.
Yeah, pulled away by Garth. Could well be the first boundary because she strayed short, dragged it down, did Selman. And she's just come back from out of the women's IPL where she was playing for the Trailblazers, but she's been dispatched for 4 by Kim Garth.
Yeah, here it comes on the replay. You can see the ball sat up, going down leg. Kim just swiveled nicely and played the ball directly down into the ground to backward square for 4. Nice. She waited for the ball and played it very well down to backward square for 4.
No fielders in the deep on the leg side. The 2 outside the circle for these first 6 overs at third man and deep cover. So once it beats the infield on that leg side, always going to be 4. Quick single again. Good batting by the Pembroke pair. As you say, they'd know each other very well. They'd have played a lot of cricket together.
Yeah, they do, and you can tell because they trust each other's calling. They know that if Kim knows if Mary calls it, she's going to trust her, she's going to go. She played that ball very nicely. She just waited for it to come onto the bat and just eased it down past the slips. It was an easy single. Just talking about the development of the game with the IPL, I think it is a start, Lenny, and I think next year we will see more teams playing.
Pulled away by Waldron, but she finds the fielder. Yeah, the Trailblazers, the Velocity and the Supernovas, it was a little bit of a trial. 3 teams coming in. We saw one game the year before in 2017, but crowds attended it well. Some very close games and some good finishes. And that's where you want to start from.
Yeah, it is, and I think the organisers would have seen that there is the appetite there for the women's game, and there's certainly a lot of the women's players who want to play in this format.
Mary Waldron just gets that behind square for a single. Kim Garth off to a bit of a flyer, so Waldron just looking to rotate the strike.
Sensible batting, very sensible batting. I think they were probably a bit nervous opening the batting. That's why they tried to hit the leather off the ball. And I think they've calmed each other down nicely, and they're playing sensible cricket. Keep the scoreboard ticking over, rotate the strike, and if the bad ball comes along, whack it.
No run that time. It's better from Selman back onto her line in particular after straying the first delivery. You can see immediately though the West Indies women, with the exception of the Irish bowler Kim Garth, no one really getting up to the paces that they're capable of bowling at.
No, the Irish women generally our cricketers aren't tall enough. We probably have one cricketer who's taller. But in general, our cricketers are small, and so we rely on swing and spin rather than pace.
Clever batting from Kim Garth. Just a quick single. Played down in front of Stefanie Taylor on the offside for a single. Ireland 13 for 1 after 4 now. And you can see chasing 140 to win. Really in need of some runs to get going. A big partnership needs to be built.
Yeah, it does. One of these two needs to sort of go on and potentially get a big partnership. But again, the bowling, we have to give credit to the bowling and fielding. The bowling is tight. Shamila Connell is a tall bowler, and she was sort of banging it in. And again, it's difficult for our bats to work the ball away because of the quality of the bowling.
And West Indies just going to keep it simple. No changes of bowling yet. Beats Garth outside the off stump. That's a real beauty. Again, the extra pace of Connell.
Yeah, it's great to see. It's great to see a fast bowler operating, big, tall, fast bowler. The ball being banged in. It's very nice to see in the true tradition of West Indian fast bowlers. I love it.
Yeah, Shamelia Connell, 26 years of age from Barbados. Probably the quickest bowler on show so far here today. You're going to see just at the top of her run-up, she gets ready and comes in with a little skip and a jump to get her rhythm. There it is. Garth pulls into the leg side, just short of the mid-on fielder. She's really rushing the Irish batters for pace.
She is. That sort of came on to Kim faster than she wanted, and you could see she wasn't very happy with that shot. The fielder, if I was the bowler, would I be giving the fielder a little bit of a glare there? Lenny, would you if you were the bowler?
I think always just falling short of the mid-on fielder. Run saved rather than a chance squandered. Garth beaten outside the off stump again, and the quicker pace really causing problems for the Irish batters.
Yeah, she got a bit stuck there. She didn't move her feet across. She was possibly trying to cut a ball that was too close, and that's very dangerous when there's a slip in place and a point fielder. I think they're moving in another slip, are they?
Yeah, good captaincy from Stefanie Taylor, bringing a second fielder into the cordon. Just 2 fielders on the leg side now, trusting her fast bowler to get it outside off, create a chance. Really
Dots.
Good stuff, this.
Dots building will only put pressure. The bats, the pressure's building now for the bats. Sometimes that can lead to a mistake. But again, Kim Garth is probably our most experienced player out there. She should not be fazed by this. She should be able to play her way out of this.
Looks for the quick single. Mary Waldron immediately shouts no. The dots continue. A good call from her non-striker.
Super call. You could see something's going to happen. Kim is keen to rotate the strike. Mary was having none of it. Mary Waldron, one of the fittest players in the pitch, devotes herself to fitness and very athletic. And she was very, very clear. We heard it all around the area. A definite no.
Pull this time powerfully by Garth. That's going to beat the mid-on fielder. Second boundary of the day, and you could see she needed a release shot, but it's a super shot to end the 5th over. Ireland women, they're 17 for 1.
You could see Kim, she leaned back there. We knew that something was going to happen. It was a super shot. She hit the ball very hard to the fielder's right, and it was 4 all the way. And you could just feel the sigh of relief go up there from Kim. Her shoulders, the tension came out of her shoulders, and she knew that was a 4.
Yeah, we're going to have a first change of bowling for the day. As Stefanie Taylor decides that time to whip Selman out of the attack. And we're going to see one of the 2 twins. In fact, we're not. We're going to see Chanel Henry. We have to wait to see one of the 2 knights. Kaisia Knight and Kashona Knight. Kaisia in the playing 11 today. But Chanel Henry into the attack for the first time, and it's going to bring about a change in the commentary box as Janice Walsh bids farewell. And delighted to welcome in for the first time today, as Waldron works that down to the offside. You're going to have some Caribbean dulcet tones. I'm sure all the viewers will be delighted to hear that, because it's a name that has great resonance in Irish cricket. A man who helped pioneer and make the game so successful here in Ireland and the West Indies. How are you?
Well, I'm Henderson.
Excuse me, Gus.
Gus will be here.
Gus will be here in a minute, so we're going to chat.
We're
We're going to chat to Henderson Springer to start.
wonderful.
My apologies. And Henderson, you're the head coach of the West Indies women's side.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
And Henderson, you've got a very talented side here with you, and ranked 4th in the world, looking to hopefully turn over Ireland women here.
Yes, of course. Yes, and it's all part of a journey. I mean, guess for both teams as well too. We ranked 4th, but we're still trying to do better. We got some outstanding players there. Yes, I'm sure Ireland's got some good players too, but it is all part of a journey.
Henderson, you've got some fast bowlers to die for here, because we've seen the pace of Selman, and indeed coming into the attack now, Henry. Really good Caribbean old style fast bowlers.
Yes, it is a system that we've tried to create over the years. Tried to emulate a bit from the senior team. And if you look at most of the international team in any type of cricket, you've got some solid fast bowlers, and that's something that we are trying to build as we go along.
How have you found the conditions here in Ireland? A little bit different to back home in the Caribbean?
Yes, I've been here a number of times. I've been here with the West Indies senior team. I've been here with the West Indies A team, and I'm here with the West Indies women. I don't know who I will be with next, but it is a pleasure to be here, and it's good that the sun has come out. The weather is different, yes, but the most important thing, I'm sure you fully appreciate, is the fact that cricket is being played.
It's been a bit of a renaissance for Caribbean cricket, not just in the women's game, but in the men's game. We saw the 19s win. It was 3 famous trophies in 2016. What can you put the renaissance down to, the real rebirth of the game after some tough times after the turn of the millennium for West Indian cricket?
Well, I think at that point in time, it was obviously a combination of some hard work, sustained efforts, and some luck at the right times. Because it doesn't matter how well you play. I think you just need that luck to perform at the right time. Something in the middle of a game turn your way. You turn the game on top of his head with a good performance, a good catch, a good wicket, whatever the case may be. But all in all, I think it was an outstanding day, and it will go down in history. I don't know for how long it will stay in history, because things sometimes change, but it was an outstanding day for West Indies cricket.
Yeah, ends the 6th over. Ireland women now 19 for 1 after 6. I'm here talking to Henderson Springer, the West Indies women's head coach. We're talking about that famous year in 2016, where the West Indies, they won 3 trophies, the ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup and 2 World T20s in the same day. The West Indies women triumphing over Australia in the morning, before in the evening the West Indies men and that man Carlos Brathwaite, who we know so well on these Irish shores, hitting Ben Stokes to all parts to lift the champion dance on that famous day.
Yeah, I think some Irish people will lay claim to Carlos Brathwaite as well, because he's had a couple of seasons here, and that's tremendous. I've had some work to do with him.
Yeah, Carlos Brathwaite of Leinster Cricket Club. We're going to see a change in bowling and spin for the first time today. Hayley Matthews coming into the attack. Tell us a little bit about your squad. It's an experienced side, obviously missing Deandra Dotton and the recently retired Melissa Aguilera, but still plenty of experience, plenty of talent in it.
And Anissa Mohammed, she's not been included in this tour, so she would have played over 101 internationals into the T20, very experienced. We give Krishma Ramarak an opportunity on this tour. I mean, she has not played yet, but you still got the skipper Stephanie Taylor. Hayley Matthews has been going pretty well. She's still a very young person, Hayley Matthews, so I think hopefully she got a number of years ahead of her. You got the Knight twin. You have Shakira Selman.
The 2 Knight twins from Barbados.
Yeah, from Barbados. Good players, both left-handed, identical twins. I even get trouble finding out who is who sometimes.
And of course, you had a recall due to some superb domestic form for Stacey as well.
Stacey Hankin played excellent in the regional tournament in Guyana, very commanding from the top position, very, very commanding, and I believe that deserves a recall, because we're trying to build a new system now, and I've been only here for a year and a half and stuff, myself and Gus. Never had the opportunity to work close with her for a sustained period of time, so I think that this is the opportunity to see what she's made of.
Yeah, Stacey Ann King, the oldest member of your squad, but a superb regional series in both the 50 over and the T20 format.
Yes, very, very, very commanding, especially at the top of the innings. I was really enthused with that and pleased, and it's good that she can be rewarded in this way. It only goes to say it doesn't matter how old you are, once you play good quality of cricket, there's always an opportunity to represent at the highest level.
Yeah, get back into the squad as Matthews comes into Waldron. Huge appeal. Waldron to come across her stumps, probably hitting her just outside the line of off stump. See if we can bring you a replay of that. In a non-biased way, we can perhaps ask Henderson Springer his thoughts on this LBW decision.
Well, I see the batsman in front of the stumps and I can't see the ball, so I think it's a good shot. I would have gone up for a shot there as well, but the umpire's decision is a final.
Yeah, perhaps just outside the line there, Mary Waldron going on to miss off stump. That's a nice shot from Kim Garth. It's going to be her third boundary, the third of the innings. The run's coming for her. Ireland moved to 24 for 1 in the 7th over. And I'm talking to Henderson Springer, the West Indies women's head coach. Got a big tour coming up of England, 3 T20Is and 3 ODIs.
Yes, I think that would be a very, very important tour. A learning tour as well to England at home. England are always a strong team, doesn't matter if they're home or away. It would be a good experience for us as well, to play in those conditions and do well.
They're crucial matches for you in the ICC Women's Championship.
Correct.
Because at the moment you're down in 7th, you probably need to win maybe all 3 of them to get up the table.
That would be very good. It will call for a big effort, but the girls are willing to put it in.
Yeah, England on home soil, big challenge there. Can I ask you, Henderson, about the Women's World 2020 that we just had in the Caribbean last November?
Yes.
Was it a boom for women's cricket? The crowd seemed to be
If you look
superb.
at it was tremendous. It was tremendous. I mean, it surprised me to see the amount of people that turned out to support the women. But I thank the people for that. I thanked them last year. I thanked them again this year, and I thank them at every opportunity, because I think that is the beginning of something good, And I think the ladies are very much appreciative as well.
It seemed like a real carnival affair. There was parties in the stands. There was huge crowds.
If you want to win competitions, you got to win every game.
That Australian side that you lost to, simply outstanding.
It was a good side. I mean, they've got a different environment. They've got good and consistent women's cricket right down the line. I mean, from top level international into your clubs, as you would say, your states and provinces overseas, into your development programs. So they've got a lot to choose from. Their pool is a lot wider than ours.
Can you tell us a little bit about the structure of women's cricket in the Caribbean? It's again based around the islands and
Yes.
Guyana.
Yes. Based around the islands, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, all those islands. They mostly a lot of club cricket and stuff like that, but not a lot of teams playing. In Barbados, I can give you always a perfect example because I'm from there. We have 4 women's teams which we compete against one another. But we've been lucky enough to be able to put together a team that plays in a men's competition as well. And that is significant practice for them when they go into regional level. Hence, they do so well when they come to regional level. They play in the second division of our league.
Yeah, and the talent that seems to come through from the Caribbean in all formats, at youth levels, at men's level, at women's level, seems to be really strong. That's a conveyor belt that doesn't seem to end in the Caribbean.
Yeah, but we can't take it for granted, though. We've got to continue working, and I believe that the development of anything depends heavily on the grassroots, whether it be schools, whether it be junior development programs. I think that is the foundation of anything good when it comes to the development.
And back to the action here. Ireland women 26 for 1 in the 8th over. Were you pleased with the total you put up? It was your superstar, your skipper, who really dominated the innings.
Well, she plays well. She plays well on a very consistent basis. I think I'm looking at some others as well to how they adapted themselves to the conditions. I mean, the pitch played really lower than we expected. And it looked like the slower you bowled, the lower the ball came, which was, I think, a tactic that Ireland employed really well.
You must have been pleased with the acceleration, though, doubling your score in between the 13th and the 18th
Correct,
really getting it going.
Yeah. I guess that's what it's all about. I mean, even if you don't get a good start, you still got to keep some type of sanity above. You must have a game plan, not only at the beginning, but right throughout the game until it is over.
Yeah, and your side seemed to adapt well. They were struggling early, pace off the ball, causing some problems for the Caribbean ladies, or the Caribbean women, and they made 139 for 4 from their 20 overs.
Yeah.
So 7 and over that Ireland need here in this Irish women's chase. Your bowling outfit, it's combined around 3 pace bowlers and then 2 off spinners. Do you have any other spinners?
We got Afi Fletcher, the leg spinner from Grenada, and she's been pretty good. She's been good in all forms of our game.
And will she, a little bit like a Rashid Khan, will she bowl towards the death of the innings? Come on later?
All depends on the situation that we get ourselves in coming on to after the 10th over. Of course, then the ball would have deteriorated a bit and she can actually get a good grip and a good twist. But try to prepare players to take responsibility at any stage of the game.
Hit into the offside, quick single from Garth. Outstanding fielding from the West Indies continues. Stefanie Taylor that time with the direct hit, but Garth safely home. You must be extremely pleased with just how well you're fielding. You're showing incredible athleticism.
Yeah, that's good. I think this started in the World Cup as well too, because we had some very, very good fielding sessions. We had some very good fielding games, and that is very, very important at this level of the game. You can't afford to let batsmen bat twice, I call it. You can't drop too many catches, too many misfields, because they come back to haunt you at the back end, especially in the shorter form of the game.
Before you came over here to Ireland and you flew in, you had a 14-day training camp in Antigua. Tell us a little bit about that.
It was good. We were lucky because the weather was good in Antigua as well too, and we had a number of practice sessions in nets. We had a number of practice sessions in the middle. We got an opportunity to play against Antigua on the 17 guys, which we do on a regular basis because we hold camp in Antigua pretty regular. That's our home base basically. So it was worth it. It's worth it, and I hope we continue like that. Getting those camps, those preparation camps in before any major encounter.
Yeah, 14-day training camp for the West Indies women in Antigua before they got on the plane here to Ireland, and the outstanding fielding continues with a super stop by Shadeen Nation there at mid-wicket.
Yeah, we got. That's one of the things that we try to be strong at. You need to be strong. You're fielding all good international teams, good fielding teams.
Nicely bowled, and it's not just the fielding you've shone in. We saw the power of your batters and some quick bowlers. It's a real stereotypical Caribbean side you brought over here to Ireland.
Well, I guess that's what it's all about. You expected us to come here and play what, in inverted commas, what they will call the West Indies way, And I think with the West Indies way, there should still be a semblance of normal and relaxed cricket, but there also must be a semblance of drive and aggression as well.
Since I have you in the box, I'll have to quickly ask you about the men's campaign as well. World Cup starting next week. It's a side with great promise and great excitement. Is there a chance that they could do what they've done before in England and go on to win a World Cup?
Well, I think they'll have to. That's something they'll have to take step by step, because you've got a lot of
Mix up between the fielders. I'll just cut you off. That's going to be the second wicket. Sorry, Henderson, because it was hit into the offside by Mary Waldron. Kim Garth, centre back, and an easy run out. That's going to be the second wicket. It was a mix-up between the two Pembroke colleagues. And smiles for Henderson Springer in the box next to me, because as you can see on the replay here, she used her feet, looked for the quick single. And it was the captain again, Stefanie Taylor. What a day she's having.
Yeah. As I said, she's a total cricketer. She bowls as well too. As a captain, you got to lead by an example, and this is one of the opportunities, you know. And it serves well when you have to guide and support and direct some of the other members of the team, or sometimes light a bit of fire. You set the example up front.
Going to be Shauna Kavanagh now to the crease for Ireland in the 9th over. And they've got a big task on, because still more than 100 needed to win. Less than 12 overs to get them in. Going to need to get the run rate moving. This disciplined West Indies outfit really showing why they're ranked 4th in the world in 2020 international cricket. I'm here with Henderson Springer, their head coach. And do you enjoy coming to Ireland? You said you've been here before?
I've been here. The first time I came here was 1991 to play a benefit game for Henry Wallace up in London. They're in Eglinton Cricket Club.
Yep.
And the game was tied. The game was tied. Both teams scored 330 odd. And the game was tied. You can remember that distinctly. Plus a number of other things too, but I wouldn't want to speak about those on air.
Maybe a few nice entertaining drinks up in the northwest.
Well,
perhaps
a few. It was good.
Yeah, we share a great synergy, Irish cricket and Caribbean cricket. It's the reason a lot of people in Ireland love their cricket, because they grew up in the 1980s or 1990s watching that great Caribbean side that was the best in the world.
Yeah, it played, and it was hard work as well. And not only the Caribbean side, the test match, the international side that you would have seen on a regular basis, but the first class competition, which was called the Shell Shield. It was a very strong competition, because you had all those guys. It was not a situation now where guys are away to franchises and those things. Everyone was available. At some point in time, you will see the Leeward Islands play Barbados. Barbados got Garner, Marshall, Greenwich, Haynes, etc. Leeward Islands had Viv Richards and Roberts, and it was like a mini test match. And those are the things that built and maintained the level of our cricket at that point in time.
Is the popularity of the game still there? There was a little bit of talk, the basketball and some of the being so close to America. You saw some of the American sports gaining interest, but cricket's still the number one sport in the Caribbean.
Cricket is still the number one because we get few basketballers coming from the West Indies, Barbados particularly, and cricket is still there with the opportunities of contracts, professional retainer, whatever the case may be. So cricket, the players and the youngsters still benefit a lot more from cricket than engaging themselves in other sport.
Chanel Hendry is going to continue, and just got one more over here with Henderson Springer, the West Indies women's coach. We really appreciate him coming in to join us as his team are right on top with a big appeal, and he's got another wicket because Shauna Kavanagh, second ball, falls for just one, nicking one behind. The extra pace proving a little too good. She's got to go. Wonderful bowling from one of your stars.
Yes, and maintenance of a certain line and length, and this is something that the Irish did very well. And they bowl to one side of the field for the majority of the time, and that is important because then it makes it easier for the captain to set a field. You know, as opposed to bowling all over the place, then you need too many fielders. Yeah,
just a thin edge from Kavanagh. Umpire Paul Reynolds having no doubt about that. And West Indies women, after struggling early with the bat, having won the toss and deciding to bat first today, they're right back into the game and they're right on top now. 33 for 3, Ireland women. You must be pleased with where your side is at now.
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, you're still, as well as competing against opposition, you still got to compete against your personal standard as well too, and that is one of the things that we've come here to do. Ireland may be obviously rated below us, but that is not the point. We come to play a good cricket game, and as well as to try a couple of things to experiment. We've come to learn as well, you know. So I think that part is important.
Would you consider coming to Ireland really good preparation for your series in England?
Of course, especially with the weather like this, you know, especially struggling early up with our innings. You know, you got to learn, you got to build from there. There's something that you will have to do when you play against England. But you may not recover because there may be a stronger opposition squeezing you down a lot more. So we got to learn from these type of experiences.
Going to be Una Raymond Hoey coming in at number 5 for Ireland. The Irish captain Laura Delaney took a nasty blow in her follow through to the side of her leg, possibly her ankle. So she's not going to come to the crease yet. And the Clontarf batter, Una Raymond Hoey, will take a strike A wide to start from Chanel Henry. Can't get off the mark yet. The three fast bowlers you have, they complement each other well, it looks like.
Yes, all different. You get Selman coming from this end, breeze blowing across, but fancy yourself as the out swinger. Connell from the top end, tries to keep the ball in front with the extra bounce. I think Young Henry is a combination of both things with a slow ball option as well, but all is still learning. They still got the L's on.
And then you've got Stacey Ann King, who can bowl some left arm seam.
Correct.
Cut away by Hoey, and she's got to go. Carries to backward point. Another wonderful catch. This
Selman.
West Indian fielding outfit. That's Selman who takes it at backward point. Continues to shine. The fourth wicket. Talk us through this. Wonderful from your team.
Well, I think it's good. Good feeling. A good piece of work by Selman there. Okay. Back of a length delivery. And Selman doing good work. And if you can take a look at the position of Selman's hands, if you can pull it up and see that, it's not a conventional position. Not many people see that. Like normal people catch it like this. Selman goes one over the other, which means that she's got to be spot on in her timing every single time she takes a catch.
The old, like the crocodile claws, the old way the coach has always told you never to
Never do it, yeah.
But she's taken a superb catch there. And this Ireland innings just falling apart a little now. 2 wickets in the over. The additional pace of Henry causing problems. Coming in at number 6 now, it's going to be Rebecca Stokel. We're going to try and get you an update on the Irish women's captain, Laura Delaney. Suspect, she's gone to hospital, so not going to bat. You'd have to think it was a really nasty blow, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was struck pretty hard as well too, and I hope it doesn't really destroy her series, because I'm sure she would be very disappointed not to be able to play a couple more matches in this series and lead her team to a victory, or to at least lead her team to better cricket.
Yeah,
it's very disappointed, I reckon, for the captain.
Very well said by the West Indies women's head coach, Henderson Springer. Enjoying having a chat to him here, just coming up to the halfway stage of Ireland's chase. Rebecca Stokel off the mark. It's a very young Irish side, and you'd have known some of the retiring legends, the two Joyce sisters, Claire Shillington and Ciara Metcalf, taking their curtain call in the Caribbean at the tournament there in November.
Well, I guess there's a pity about that as well too. I don't know. I can't speak for them, but it puts you in a position now where you've got a lot of players who would not have played to this level.
Mix up shy of the stumps. A direct hit would have been out. It was a brilliant diving one-handed stop at first slip by Hayley Matthews. And Stokel wanted to get off the mark. She looked for the quick single. She would have been struggling with the direct hit.
That's right. She would have been struggling. I guess it's up to the non-striker to send the batsman back, or she committed herself a bit too far without
direct hit
turning
close.
Very much so.
Sensational stuff in the field and with the ball from the West Indies women. They're right on top. And Rebecca Stokel is going to get underway with a single, and that's going to bring the halfway point to the innings. Ireland women now 35 for 4. We're going to say a big thank you to Henderson Springer for coming in and joining us. Look forward to maybe hearing from you again later in the week. Hope you enjoy your stay here in Ireland.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The halfway stage of the chase, Ireland women 35 for 4. Over to Mark Jones, who's with Janice Walsh.
Thank you, Danny. First ball, this 11th over, this clip down to fine leg. Going for 2 here. Going to have to hurry. But no, well, we're on the end. Nicely clipped away off her hip there from Stokel.
Yeah,
Welcome
Mark.
back, Janice.
Thank you, Mark. It's a beautiful day here. We're delighted with the crowd who've turned up here in YMCA Cricket Club, and they're enjoying some excellent bowling from the West Indian side.
And fielding, I think, Janice. The West Indian fielding has been absolutely outstanding so far. Some very nice catches, and really made it very difficult for the Irish to chase down this total.
Yeah, we were just looking at their fielding. Out of 4 shies at the stumps, they've had 3 direct hits. 3 out of 4 is a super ratio for direct hits, and it keeps the batsmen back in their crease.
The one ray of hope for Ireland, though, is that Kim Garth is still at the wicket. You know, Kim's vast experience leaves Ireland with some semblance of a chance of chasing down this total. Obviously, the rate going over 10, and it's up to 10 and over now, so we really need to get on with it.
I think, being realistic, we're probably now looking to spend time in the middle. Certainly the bats, Rebecca Stokel will want to spend time there and get used to it, get the feel of it, playing against quality opposition like this.
Hayley Matthews continuing at the Wes Earl end. Another good over from her, keeping it very tight. Just the 3 runs coming from it.
Yeah, we're a young side and we're learning our craft, and this is probably one of the hard days.
Kim down on one knee there, trying to swing it to leg, but unfortunately missing. That's the end of the 11th over. The score moves on to 38 for 4. And I think we've heard that Laura Delaney's not going to bat, which is a big blow for the Irish, Janice.
Yes, Laura she's right up there for bravery. She stuck her foot out to a missile that was drilled back along the crease, stuck her leg out, and it hit her on the inside of the ankle, and she's gone to hospital. So Laura, I know you're listening, I know you're watching the live stream, so give all the nurses a wave, and we wish you well, and we hope to see you back here later on.
Yeah, absolutely echo those sentiments. Hopefully she's not out of the series, but it's not looking good for her. Obviously been taken away there about half an hour ago to hospital for a scan on that ankle. Henry continuing from the Cecil Metcalf end. And Stoker displays it into mid-on for a dot.
I think Rebecca Stokel and Kim need to sort of talk to each other and again try and do what Kim was doing with Mary Waldron, which is just push the ball around and keep the scoreboard ticking over and just spend time in the middle.
Yes, very much so. I think there's a lot of swinging and the ball going straight to fielders, and they're not feeling under any pressure at the moment. Kim seems to be on her hunches quite a bit in this over. Do you think there's a problem there as well, or is she just taking a bit of a breather, hopefully?
I'm just looking at that as well. Hopefully she's feeling all right. She's a very, very competitive player, and she would hate to see the score this low.
Full toss this time. Swung away into the leg side by Rebecca. Just the one though. A direct hit. No chance of run up, but maybe chance of a buzzer, but unfortunately not this time.
4 out of 5. They're able to hit the stumps from anywhere. This West Indies team, it's a superb exhibition of fielding and throwing in from anywhere in the ground to the stumps.
They have been very impressive outright today, Janice, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. It's great stuff. I'm interested to see Rebecca Stokel bat here against this quality bowling. She certainly is a player for the future. They've got the Irish selectors have got great hopes for her. She's tall, she's a big unit. She bowls relatively quickly. One of the few Irish bowlers who do. And she has great prospects as a bat.
Kim just beating on the outside edge there. Another very well bowled delivery from Henry, just back of a length. Maybe just a little bit of nip off the pitch. Kim playing inside it. But yeah, as you say, John, it's a very young Irish team, and there's plenty of hope for the future. So games like this, it can only be a good learning curve for them. Beautifully played square driven by Kim Garther all the way for 4 runs. It's a fantastic shot, and it relieves a bit of the pressure that I'm sure they must have felt.
It was a super shot. Kim thrives in this sort of atmosphere. She likes playing against the best players in the world, and this is where it's her turn. It's her time to shine.
Just see it in the replay there. Yeah, Henry straying just a bit wide on the offside there, and lovely play. Very nicely played to the deep point boundary.
She's got a very she certainly pulls out quality shots.
Henry back in a length this time, play back straight back to the bowler, and that ends the 12th over. Ireland move on to 43 for 4.
That completes Chanel Henry's spell. 4 overs, 2 for 15.
And you might have heard that in the PA announcer there. That's actually Chanel Henry's spell. A fantastic spell of 2 for 15 from her 4. I think she looks like she's coming off there. She's coming off very gingerly, Janice. You think she's picked up a bit of an injury, or is this a case of take your jumper after you bowl the 4 overs and have a, put the feet up?
I think it's a case of, you've done your job, you've done it well, come off, sit down, have a cup of tea. It's fine.
Make sure you put some ice somewhere, though, just to make sure that the third umpire is not looking at you.
Only in the tea, then. Ice in the tea. We've just got a signal that she probably has got a little bit of a knee strain, so it's wise to take her off when she's finished. She certainly didn't bowl like somebody with a knee strain. Yeah,
Absolutely
she's going to get some ice on that.
Fantastic spell of bowling.
Change of bowling from the West Ireland. Ball number 9, Afi Fletcher.
So Fletcher coming on now from the Wes Ireland. Hopefully these two these two Irish batters will take the initiative on a little bit now, and at least try and aim for a run of ball now for the rest of their time out there.
Well, Kathy Fletcher's no slouch with the ball. She has an economy rate of 5.82 and a best of 5 for 13. So she is also a force to be reckoned with the ball.
Oh, big appeal first up. Ali Mali Bragg is not in the head, and yes, that is gone. LBW right back on her stumps, and looked absolutely plumb from this angle, Janice.
Yeah, it certainly did. She was playing a all-rounder, playing across the line. She didn't even sort of give Fletcher a little look. She was trying to work that round to back a square and was trapped plumb.
Here we have the replay. And yeah, that looks as if that was going straight through middle stump. Great start to the over from Fletcher.
And it's just showing just a little bit of inexperience with our bats. They still have the luxury of being able to look at the bowler. They don't have to play shots like that straight off. But again, they will learn.
Probably a little bit too full, though, to be gone on the back foot too. I think she should have been forward to that one. And the new batsman is Louise Little on debut here. It's a bit like the Irish men's team, Janice, where there's a certain element of Pembroke about it again.
Yeah, we're proud of that, Mark. We're proud of that in the
Pembroke
Brook.
Mafia taking over.
Yeah, we're fortunate that we have a lot of players on both squads. It's great for the club. It's great for the players. Great for Ireland. That these young players are coming through. Good cricketing families too.
Correct. Yes, it is. It is indeed.
Now Louise won't blame me if I say she's not really known for her batting. She would be known more for her bowling, so it'll be interesting to see how she does here.
Coming in at 7 here, maybe 8 with Laura Day not batting. So, looking a little bit nervous. She's only 15. Well, big appeal there. Maybe a little bit of inexperience there, but I think she just got the foot back into the crease. The West Indian women there were looking for a cheeky little run out.
Yeah, they're not here. They are here to be professional and businesslike. They're not sort of taking any prisoners here, and they're right. If it's part of the game, they're going to do it. They want the bats to stay alert and stay in the crease, or they're going to get them out.
And there's a nice crowd in today, Janice. You pleased with the numbers that are down today?
Oh yeah, I think it's super. YMCA is a beautiful ground to watch a match in. They've got their wall and it's nice and sunny. People are nice and warm. So we're expecting an equally good crowd in Pembroke on Tuesday and Wednesday for the remaining 2 matches of this international series. Yeah,
and first international runs for Louise Little there, just played into the offside and a misfield at extra cover, and they came back for 2 in the end. So good to see Louise off the mark. She plays very correctly there, Janice, without really threatening, though, isn't it?
No, it is correct. She's playing just straight bat, which is probably safe. I'm sure she's very nervous, and that's good. It is a survival.
At 15 years old, though, you'd expect a few nerves, but also she might be a little bit bulletproof as well.
Yeah. There's the umpires fielding the ball. That's nice of him.
Is that not 5 penalty runs now?
Yes.
I think we'll take any runs we can get at the moment. Looking to bunt that down the ground. That was straight back to the bowler. That brings it down to the 13th over. 2 runs coming from that, bringing Ireland's total on to 45 for 5 in this first Hanley Energy T20 series versus the West Indies.
Again, Kim should talk to Louise and just tell her to enjoy herself, play her shots, play correctly, play through the V, spend time at the middle and relish this. This is a match that she'll never forget. Playing in front of a big crowd here in YM and batting against one of the top 4 teams in the world. So she should tell her to relax and just go through her shots and spend time at the crease.
And it looks like a change of bowling here from the Cecil Metcalf and Salma coming on to bowl.
Change of bowling from the Cecil Metcalf end. Returning is stroke number 4, Shakira Selman.
So Ireland here looking to kick on a little bit with just the 7 overs remaining. Obviously the West Indies are going to look to change the bowling as much as they possibly can, give everyone a chance to bowl in these Irish conditions. Nice little clip into the mid-wicket area from Kim Garth, but only a dot ball, I'm afraid. Very well fielded.
It was beautifully played off her legs, though. You could see she just leant into it and just she timed it beautifully. It was a shame it didn't get through the field, but it was a beautiful shot. The West Indies are going to want to bowl us out. There's no question about this. They see us as a genuine ranked number 10, and they do want to bowl us out.
Very well bowled, just back of a length this time by Shakira. Bowling with a nice, very high action there, so back of a length is going to be difficult to get away on this wicket. Trying to put the Irish players under pressure, but I think the West Indies have bowled really, really well in this innings. Again, short and back of a length and just played into the covers. Another dot ball. It's 3 dots to start this over with, not the start that Kim would have wanted, I wouldn't have thought.
You can see the amount of pressure that Kim puts herself under. She wasn't happy with that shot at all, and she sort of gave out to herself.
Gave her an inward teapot, I think. Down the track this time, but unfortunately couldn't get past the mid-on fielder. You can see Kim is getting very frustrated out there. Hopefully she just keeps it together now.
But for any young girls watching or young boys watching, that was just a divine shot to mid-on. She just leaned into the ball and flicked it off her legs to mid-on. It was super timed beautifully. It deserved runs. It deserved 4, but it was none.
But as you know, Janice, you don't always get what you deserve, I'm afraid. This time wide outside the off stump and played into the covers by Kim. Her frustration seems to be building in this over. It's been dot ball after dot ball.
Yeah, she's beginning to flounce. Something's going to happen. I'm surprised that more bats, and I know it is the quality of the bowling, that they haven't tried to hit the ball over the top.
Yeah, well, Ireland seem to be losing wickets at key stages, so it's difficult to get a partnership going. And when partnerships get together is when you can start looking to go over the top. Kim here, I'm serious, she's feeling a little bit under pressure down the track, and yes, signal wide by umpire Paul Reynolds. So Kim trying to put the pressure back onto the bowler, which she did very nicely there.
She did. She also put pressure back on herself. She is getting very frustrated. Again, she should just rely on her talent. The bowling is excellent, but she's well able to play it. She just needs to connect.
Down the track again, and this time she's penetrated the field through wide mid on for 4. Fantastic shot, and I'm sure that will relieve some of the pressure.
Smashed, absolutely smashed, and she did it. It's not really an orthodox shot. It's really a bit. Here it comes on replay. It's a little bit agricultural, as they say, but she whacked it down to cow corner, wide mid on for 4 runs.
Very nicely played. In fairness, a couple of steps down the wicket and just absolutely destroyed that through mid on. So that's the end of the 14th over, Ireland. That brings up the Irish 50 as well. 50 for 5 now from 14.
It is a little bit disappointing. It's disappointing that we didn't early on get the score rotating, get the strike rotating more, get the scoreboard ticking over. But again, it is the quality of the bowling that we're facing here. The West Indies are a tight bowling unit. They bowl to their field, and it's backed up by absolutely superb fielding.
The Irish innings started off very similar to the West Indian innings, Janice, but unfortunately for the Irish team, they weren't able to kick on and build the same platform. Just kept on losing wickets at crucial stages. Fletcher continuing now from the Wes Earl end down Little goes down the track there, but just knocks it into the covers.
Yeah, it's nice to see Louise showing a little bit of intent. She came down the wicket, her head was in the air a little bit. She didn't get hold of it at all.
This time she tried to go over the top of that one, I think, Janice, but no mid-off, so literally just bunted down to long off for one.
Yeah, a safe single for Louise. She played it nicely to mid-off.
It was very much looking like she was trying to get off strike. The batters obviously had a discussion at the break of overs there and trying to get Kim on strike now. Let's see what Kim tries to do with Fletcher. Big sweep. Sweep into deep mid wicket, but just the one run. Fielder in the deep there.
Yeah, nice sort of a slog sweep down to cow corner. Nicely fielded, big arm, just one run.
Good intent though from Kim. She has looked to try and get on with it as much as possible with the wickets tumbling at the far end though. It's not always easy. Louise Little's gone big. It's gone down to long on and very well taken. Very, very well taken a wide long on.
Louise was sort of doing what we said, why don't the batsman try and hit over the top? She unfortunately picked out the fielder there at long on. She hit it hard, she hit it high, but again with the quality of fielding that the West Indies have, it was a good catch.
Fantastic catch by Natasha Mclean down there, widest long on. Might be able to see it on the replay now in a second. No, we don't have a replay for that one, unfortunately. So the new batsman for Ireland is again another debutant to T20 cricket for Ireland is Sophie McMahon.
Again, Sophie is going to have a sort of a baptism of fire really against this bowling. She's young, new to the game. I'm sure she's very nervous. Big crowd here, terrific opposition. She should get out there and just enjoy it. Enjoy spending time out there. Batting with Kim, talk to Kim, listen to Kim. Spend time in the middle. It's the start of a wonderful career, hopefully, for her.
And lucky enough for the batter's cross, so Kim will take strike now. 2 balls remaining in the over. Moves the leg. Will she get... Oh, just bounces short. Fantastic effort in the deep. Came with the slog sweep again. Didn't get all of it. And went straight out to Brittany Cooper, who with the full length dive just couldn't quite make it.
Yeah, it was nicely timed. She timed it very nicely. The boundary there is very long. The fielder didn't... I think she must have lost it somewhere. Diving forward, tried to catch it. Unfortunately, put it down.
And that does bring Sophie McMahon onto strike to face the last ball of this over from Fletcher. Oh, and beating all ends up outside her off stump there. And that brings it down to the 15th over. Ireland have moved on to 53 for 6. And there's going to be a moving on from the commentary box as well. To call the rest of the game, welcome back to Andrew Leonard, who is supporting a freshly shaven head today.
Thank you, Mark. Less said about that, the better. And delighted to have Miriam Greeley, former Ireland women's captain, joining me again to my right. Little disappointing this chase for Ireland, perhaps, Miriam?
A little bit, Lenny, yes. But as we've said before, this is a step up in bowling for a lot of our players who haven't faced this level, really, from Super 3 level, domestic level, and the consistency and the pace and what the leg spin bowlers, it's a step up in grade for a lot of these players, with the exception obviously of Kim and the top order bats.
The 3 quicks in particular for West Indies have been absolutely outstanding so far.
Yeah, and they bowl a terrific line, they bowl a terrific length, and they don't give you much width, and as you say, the extra pace is something the girls wouldn't really be used to, with again the exception of Kim.
It's going to be the pace of Shakira Selman to continue. The Barbadian 29-year-old. She's been very good so far. Kim Garth's been very good so far as well, as she tries a bit of fancy footwork. Comes off an inside edge there for a single.
They're terrific shots when they come off, don't they? Well, Kim is doing well. She's getting very frustrated. You can see that in her, because, as we've previously said here, she's extremely competitive. and she would have really wanted to give this a good go, but I think she's got to hold her nerve now and just keep on going till the 20 overs is up.
Yeah, what an experience for young Sophie McMahon, facing up on T20 International debut. Just 2 ODIs for her so far. Outside edge, and that's another wicket. Paul Reynolds gets the finger up. Beautifully bowled by Selman, the first wicket for her today.
Beautifully bowled. She saw Sophie actually coming down the track. I'm not sure why Sophie probably wanted just to get at it, but perhaps if she'd maybe stood still. Here's the replay coming up. Sophie coming down. Yeah, she's her feet are in the wrong position, but in fairness, it's her first taste of that kind of level of bowling.
Yeah, clear outside edge, and Sophie McMahon's got to go, and it's going to bring young Laura Moritz to the crease. Let's take a look at the batting card for Ireland. It's really been a little like the way Stefanie Taylor dominated the West Indian card. Kim Garth, the dominant force here for Ireland.
And Kim has been put up the order recently. Kim used to like batting around 5 or 6, and now it's great to see that she's going to enjoy batting at 3. I think Laura was always going to come in 4 anyway, so I'm glad to see Kim batting up the order. She got a little bit more time. In the World Cup last year, she batted lower down, and I felt that by the time she came in, she wasn't able then to reflect the game.
Yeah, 3 ducks on the Irish card. Gabby Lewis falling for her first ball duck. Una Raymond Hoey and Sophie McMahon both going for second bowlers. So not helpful for coach Aaron Hamilton.
I think for Gabby, who is a wonderful bat and one of our stars of the future as well, but a senior player, she probably had a little bit more time today to play herself in a little bit more.
Going to be Laura Moritz looking for some late order runs. Irish captain Laura Delaney very unlikely to bat. In fact, she won't. She's off at hospital. As Moritz gets beaten outside the off stump, so just 2 wickets in hand now for Ireland.
It's a beautiful length she's bowling, isn't it? Just that short of a length and getting it to move off the seam. She beat Laura, then it all ends up there really. But
it was interesting chatting to Henderson Springer, the head coach. He was saying that it's almost what you imagine is a stereotypical Caribbean side. 3 big fast bowlers, a couple of good spinners, powerful, hard-hitting batsmen.
Do you know, even all through the years, even I played the West Indies a few times, it was the same sort of makeup. They had very fast bowlers and they had good spinners, and they were tall spinners as well, which we certainly weren't used to in Ireland.
Laura Moritz gets underway with a nice drive out into the covers, and Shadeen Nation will do the fielding out in the offside. Happy with a single. How has the women's game moved on since your day, Miriam? It seems to be a lot more athletic, a lot more faster moving.
Athletic, really? No, you're right. I mean, it's more of a young girl sport now as well. I retired 2005, but back then there was a fair few 30-year-olds on the team, and myself was 38. But it's moved on. You've got to be very fit. You've got to be able to feel very well. And we never got a chance to play T20, which I think a lot of us, actually, including Janice, the previous commentator, would have loved a crack at that.
Garth looks to hit across the line, looking to get some late momentum into this innings. And I suppose it's the professionalism that's really come into the game and advanced things on. It
is, with the professional coach coming in and the backroom staff that they have, S&Cs, and it's all the backroom support, and the video analysis came in the latter end of my career, but they have everything they need now in place, and now the professional contracts for 6 of the girls to move up a grade. But we have to be patient. We have to be patient with these girls because they're, losing the girls we did get. It takes quite a while to get used to international cricket.
Wide outside the off stump. Paul Reynolds will signal wide. Hand on the hips from Shakira Selman, giving a bit of the teapot to umpire Paul Reynolds.
From this angle, you're never sure of Kim, if she's stretching for it, if it's wide, it's hard to see from this angle. Yeah,
good decision from umpire Paul Reynolds. He's been one of the shining stars of the Irish umpiring scene. We saw him standing in the Ireland versus England men's ODI, arguably outperforming his more experienced partner in Kumar Dharmasena. More runs coming for Garth. Going to be wide of Mclean down at third man, and she will come back for 2. I thought she might just look for the single and keep the strike. And she's happy for 2 runs to the total.
Nice bit of width there, and Kim just threw her arms through the ball, got to the pitch of the ball, and he had to get a little bit of luck over the gully and third man area. Down to third man.
Watching the ICC Women's World 2020 in the Caribbean last November, it seemed to me like there was a very big gap between the top 4 sides in the shape of Australia, India, England and the West Indies, and the rest looked like those 4 were well in advance.
I think you might add India into. They said India in the top 4. India, yeah, they are. You could even tell by the way they played. But they were a professional outfit beforehand. Australia have, since they become professional, to me are the best in the world. They're fantastic to watch. They're a great unit. But there is a wee bit of a gap forming between, as you say, the next teams down. Sri Lanka at times. Some days they can just have a really good game, but the consistency of those top 4 teams.
Going to be the leg breaks to continue, and just like Shane Warne used to, just boulder around the legs.
Oh, that was some ball. She'll look back at that, have a little look at this, I hope, on replay.
Laura Moritz is the one who's got to go. It was an absolute beauty from Afi Fletcher.
Yeah,
coming in from wide of the crease. She's walked across her stumps, and it's boulder with a nice little bit of turn. It's really the drift that's done for Laura Moritz there. Beautifully bowled by the leg spinner.
Super delivery, in fairness.
So Miriam, can I just ask you, looking ahead for Ireland, these 3 games are obviously important. It's the start of a new era, but crucially it's got to be the ICC Women's T20 World Cup qualifier in Scotland that will have to be the target. 8 teams: Bangladesh, Ireland, Scotland, Thailand, Zimbabwe, Papua New Guinea, the recently qualified USA, who are coming on leaps and bounds. And we've got one more final spot between the Netherlands or Germany from next month's European qualifier. Just 2 of those 8 sides will qualify. That's the goal for this summer.
That's the goal, exactly, yes. And with Zimbabwe coming over there, a little bit more of a like for like with the 2 teams. We always knew this was going to be tough, but a great learning curve, as we say. But it's all working towards the World Cup qualifiers, yes. And it'll be the same format as last time: 2 groups and the semi-finals, and then the top 2 teams will qualify for the World Cup.
Celeste Rack facing up the leg breaks of Afi Fletcher, and she's off the mark with a clip into the leg side. So that's going to be August 31st to September 7th, where Ireland women will have to strive to claim 2 of the places on offer between the 8 sides, and they're going to rely heavily upon the likes of Kim Garth, who's batting really beautifully here.
And it's a terrific tournament. The World Cup is being held in Australia next year. I think it's next February or so. And they really know how to put on a show now, Australia. All the advertisements have already started. So it'll be fantastic for girls to be involved in it again.
Yeah, the final of that T20 World Cup will be in Australia at the MCG next year on International Women's Day. And they're already looking to try and get a record crowd there for any women's sporting fixture of any kind, not just cricket. So how Ireland would love to go to that, as Rack squeezes that away for a single onto the offside.
Celeste Rack actually is a great addition to our squad. I believe her grandmother is Irish, and she played over in the Hobart Hurricanes for a while. But when we lost Ciara Metcalfe, she just sits in perfectly well in Ciara's spot. She's a very intelligent bowler, and she is going to work on her batting. She has to work a little bit on that, which was fine.
Garth looking to the leg side again. Nice sweep shot, but lots of protection out there, and clever captaincy from Stefanie Taylor, giving her leg spinner all the protection on the bigger side of the ground.
Well, she's very experienced, isn't she, Steph? She's probably one of the best captains in the world, to be fair. And you're right, they're certainly not giving us any extra runs. We have to fight for every run we're getting here.
Nicely bowled again by Afi Fletcher. What a spell she's bowling. Let's take a look at these West Indian bowling figures. They've been right on top. They're going to come out on top today, there's no doubt about that. Just 3 overs left here. 3 for 9 from Afi Fletcher.
She's gone for only 9, yeah. She's had a lovely little spell, right. I'm sure she'll finish out. 2 for 15. Chanel Henry, a good spell as well. And it's just the pace they bowled at. 70, yeah. There's nobody really gone for very many runs there, Andy.
Yeah, Shamelia Connell in particular coming in, hitting a hard back of a length, getting the ball to rise quickly. We're going to see Hayley Matthews coming back in now to finish her spell. Just 1 over left. And what an addition she's been to this West Indies side. Burst onto the scene in 2016 with the player of the match performance in the final against Australia. That's
where I noticed her in the first time, and in the WBBL I think she was there as well. And I really enjoyed watching her play. She was a slight girl, but she's quite tall. But she had some fabulous shots all around the ground, and I didn't know where she'd suddenly come from. And it's actually great to see her playing. Didn't get any runs today, but a great addition to the West Indies squad.
Yeah, she was run out by Laura Moritz, and that was when Ireland were right on top. And You almost sensed in front of a large crowd here at YMCA, perhaps there was just a sniff of an upset at one point. But the West Indies, they've stamped their authority with just 3 overs to go. Garth looks for the reverse sweep. She doesn't get a wide signal. All sorts of carry on, and a little smile from the keeper as well.
Poor Kim is very frustrated out there at the moment. As you said before, though, she's very hard on herself. I'm sure she'd love to try and get another 10 runs for herself, just personally to get a 50.
Garth down the track, clips it into the leg side. It's a controlled shot just for a single. This, in fact, is Kim Garth's career best now. She's gone past her previous best of 38 not out, and that's probably because she's been batting down the order quite a bit. Great to see her up the order for Ireland.
Exactly, yes, exactly. Very true, Lenny. It's good to see her batting at 3.
With Laura Delaney unlikely to bat, we will see the Irish innings close at the fall of the next wicket. So Celeste Rack's got to stay there with Kim Garth. Can Kim Garth get up to a maiden 50 in T20I cricket? And that's good from Celeste Rack. She gets Garth back onto strike. He said she's been working on her batting, showing her skills here.
Yeah, now with these contracts, the girls have all this extra time to go and practice on certain shots even that they want to improve on, and they can spend hours doing that rather than, they don't have to share the nets. It's their own for a few hours, and I'm sure we're going to see an improvement in these girls, hopefully by the World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, so Garth on 41, not out her career best in T20 cricket, facing up to Hayley Matthews. Flatter through the air, clipped into the leg side for 1. You see, that's such a clever bowler, Hayley Matthews. She watches the batter, she changes her pace well.
She wasn't giving Kim any opportunity to come down the track there and try and hit the ball in the air, so she just dragged it down, and Kim could only really work that ball to mid-wicket for a single.
It's been the ultimate performance from the West Indies women since the 13th over, their batting innings where they were struggling at 60 for 2. Since then, everything's gone right as Celeste Rack looks for that late cut. She seems to like that shot. McLean's got a chase on, and it's going to be a boundary for her. That's a beautiful piece of batting.
That's obviously where she likes it. Will Swinty's bowl to her there again, I wonder? Nice soft hands. Playing the ball very late down to third man. Here's
the replay. There is a fielder behind square on the offside, but no slip in place. So with the pace that Hayley Matthews bowls at, as soon as it beat the field, it was always going to run away for a boundary 4. And a career best for Celeste Rack as well. That's what this series is all about for Ireland women. It's about exposing the next generation to a much better quality of cricket.
Yes, that's true, because domestic level is one thing, and even Super 3s that we play here is a little grade up as well, because all the best players are playing against each other on the one day. But this is completely different for some of these girls. They wouldn't have experienced this pace before. And certainly the spin, the tightness of it. You don't get that one bad ball and over. You don't really. You have to make your own luck and go after it. It's a confidence thing,
If you're just joining us for the first time today, Irish captain Laura Delaney was struck by a ball in her follow through when bowling, and she is actually off at hospital, probably getting an X-ray. It looked like the ankle or the lower leg, and even though she tried to battle on, she had to be actually taken off the pitch, arm in arm. So we wish her well. Hopefully it's not as bad as initially thought. So the final 2 overs of the game, Ireland women. Can Kim Garth get up to a 50?
Well, that was a beautiful forward defence from Celeste. She wanted to keep on trying to get those singles for Kim.
Flighted into the air, and good batting from Celeste Rack gets Garth back onto strike. Garth 2 boundaries away. Can she get there, Miriam?
I think so. I think you're going to see Kim now try moving her feet. There's a nice little space there in between. Backward of square and deep mid-wicket.
Yeah, nice to see a really healthy crowd here at YMCA today. All along the wall. And the great man, Ireland's greatest male cricketer of all time, Ed Joyce, perusing the boundary with his 2 young boys as Garth hammers that into the deep, straight down toward Ed Joyce, and she's going to get a boundary. A very unlucky bounce, the first piece of misfielding that I can remember from the West Indian side today, and that was a tough one.
She got a little unlucky bounce there, I think. Lenny, I think it bounced right in front of her, but that's great for us. One more big hit.
Yeah, Shakira Selman it was in the deep. It just kind of rose in her. So Garth, she moves to 46 not out. Can she get to 50? Looks for the huge heave into the leg side, and Azim Ali Bey gives that one out. So Garth's going to fall short of 50. It's a career best for her. She's got to go for 46. And with Laura Delaney unable to bat, that's going to end the Irish innings. Ireland women, they're bowled all out for 79. Here's the replay, Miriam.
Yeah,
Plum in front.
Yeah, plum in front. Yep, no arguments with that. I'm sure she was going to try and get her 50. She batted well. She batted very well.
And what that means is that West Indies women, they're going to run out victors of this first of the Hanley Energy T20 International Series by 64 runs. A dominating performance from the women from the Caribbean. After winning the toss and choosing to bat first, it wasn't without some troubles in the first innings, but their star player, Stefanie Taylor, she showed all her class. And then an all-round bowling performance alongside some truly outstanding fielding has seen them run out deserved winners today.
Yes, I agree. Stefanie Taylor was their star. And we had our own Kim Garth, but we just needed somebody else to be a big hitter, try to clear the ropes. I needed someone to stay in there with Kim. To give it a bit of a game, but they come back on Tuesday again. They're a bit more experienced now. They know what to expect more on Tuesday in Pembroke at 4 o'clock, and obviously we hope Laura's okay to play that game.
Yeah, we wish Laura Delaney all the best, who is off at hospital having a scan after a powerful blow as the teams walk off the pitch here at Claremont Road in Sandymount, Dublin. A pat on the back for Celeste Rack from Mary Waldron, and it's Mary Waldron leading her side in absence of Laura Delaney there for the handshakes. Great warmth between these two sides, and as the head coach Henderson Springer told me, this is the perfect preparation for the West Indies women.
Absolutely, yes, because it'll be very tough when they go over to England. As you've said before, Lenny, they really have to win those 3 ODIs for the ICC matches. But they are a wonderful unit. They really are. They're brilliant fielders, and very impressed with their tightness of their bowling. They gave absolutely nothing away. I'm very, very professional. So deserved winners today, and hopefully we'll put up another performance on Tuesday and get a little bit closer.
Yeah, Ireland women are going to go down to a 64-run defeat in this opening Hanley Energy T20 International Series match. Their captain, Laura Delaney, unable to bat. And it was all about Kim Garth, really, this Irish innings. Miriam, what a knock that was.
Yeah, 46 off 55 deliveries, in fairness. It was a very good, under extreme pressure too, because she realised she couldn't really be out, yet she had to keep the score ticking along. So I thought that was one of her best knocks I've seen in T20 game for Kim.
Indeed, it was a career best for Kim Garth, and with all this talk about the bowlers, or the batsmen, or the batters, we've forgotten about the bowlers. What a spell of leg spin bowling from Afi Fletcher, 4 for 14.
Isn't that fantastic? 4 for 14 off 3.4. I mean, she gave no width. She's a very clever bowler. I think we went back to maybe perhaps her that we should have possibly got forward to her to play shots, but I think Kim was probably the only one who played her well, but that was fantastic. They've all got very good figures. 2 for 15, Chanel Henry was excellent, came in very well. 10 runs, 17, excellent bowling. Their economy rates are fantastic as well, so gave nothing away there.
Yeah, 4 wickets shared between the pace trio of Connell, Selman and Henry, and of course the run out of Mary Waldron to make up the 9 wickets. Going with the star of the bowling show from the West Indies point of view, that was Afi Fletcher. Let's take a look at the match summary in this first T20I. Ireland losing by 64 runs. They lost the toss this afternoon even, and it was Stefanie Taylor, 75, the real star of the show. Plenty to learn for Ireland women, but not good enough today.
And I just see Celeste Rack's bowling figures again. That was our star bowling performance really, and Kim Garth bowled very well. And Sophie, in fairness, for her first ODI T20 match, 1 for 20 or 4, again was excellent because she was bowling at the time that Stefanie Taylor was in as well. So those 3 bowling performances are the positives we take from this. Kim's batting, obviously, we take from it to bring into our next game.
Plenty of positives for Ireland from this first Hanley Energy T20 International between Ireland and West Indies. There's 2 games to go in the series. It's a 3-match series. It's going to be 4 p.m. at Pembroke Cricket Club, just around the corner from YMCA here. It's free admission, so if you're in Dublin on Tuesday or Wednesday, 4 p.m, we'll be back with you then, live streaming every ball of both of those internationals. But for this evening, it's the West Indies women that have the smiles on their faces. They're 1-0 up. We'll see you Tuesday.